let's get the stream started then, I guess. Maybe starting a little earlier than usual today, hopefully streaming to the usual time, so it will be a bit longer than probably we usually have on the channel. There we go, it looks like it is working. Well, new endless game. And then I'll set up the bot. That's us all good to go. GKDQ. Should be it. Yep, there's the bot saying thanks. Everything should be working. Well, we did endless mode last time we played this, and it didn't go amazingly, I'll be honest. Hoping it goes a bit better this time. I'm going to equip this guy relatively well to start with. Nothing too much, and I'll send him immediately into a pit fight. Pit fight against myself. Now that's interesting. Not expecting to immediately appear. Well, it does make sense. I'm the only one who's put a message in chat so far, and that was just to set up the bot. Let's see. To the let's fighting, they should both be impaling the crowd a bit. It does look like I'm coming out on top so far. Hopefully it stays like that. And yes, it would appear that my gladiator has cut my leg off. Brilliant. Should be plenty of crowd favour too. And look at all that money from the crowd being skewered by all the spears. I seem to enjoy that for some reason. Yeah, that's us up to 1,000 already. Which is perfect. Heal him up, and then he deserves to have the best weapon he can for now. Even got a Retaris out of that, which is very nice. Especially right off the bat. Very evasive though, which is slightly less good. But let's get ourselves some employees, we can more than afford them now. Let's think, one architect for certain, a favour for certain. I have been enjoying the Sacros. Medicus could be decent. Does this one let me actually heal impediments? Yeah, it says, and also cure impediments. It should be and, not an. It's a slight typo there. No, it's can, never mind if it was in brackets. That's letter C. So yeah, normal medicus can't cure impediments. Worth keeping in mind. So I think I will stick with the Sacrados. Or Sacrados. Not entirely sure what part of the pronunciation would be on. Also repair. And over here, I think boost the AI for now. Now we can do exhibition matches, that's a terrible, terrible plan for now though. Agility train speed to him should be good. Agility goes well with the Retaris. I'll give him only agility, that'll be fine. Yeah, that's fine to unpause now. I need to keep an eye on the slaves, see if I can buy myself anytime soon. Since we've got humility, we could potentially fight Retaris against this guy, who I should give a slightly better weapon. Okay, that's us got humility then, let's have a go. I doubt this can go too badly. With Frakes, it should be the one at a disadvantage, although he's got better health and better damage. So let's see. This likely won't result in a lot of money or anything, at most all I want is just get a bit of training in front of people. Yes, it seems to be relatively balanced, I guess. do think the Freaks is winning. Just hope that Celsius doesn't get himself an impediment of any kind. Yeah, it seems to be a good fight. So hopefully it will get a lot of training for the Freaks. Like I say, hopefully the Retardus won't be getting any impediments. We've got an impediment. It's agility. That's annoying. Give him a bit of wine. Guess I'll keep his agility training maxed for now. I'll heal up him. He gets a better weapon as a reward. Got a bit of money from crowd favour. And now we just wait for the next battle to come around. Sacred Oath, I guess, could have probably Venus. Automatic healing is always nice. I'm not able to buy myself, which is a shame, but pretty much expected. I need to buy more food and water as well. I forgot to do that right until then. We're going into quite a difficult fight right off the bat. Potentially I want to send this Freaks. It's got more health, more damage, better agility. Just AI skill isn't as good. No, I think we need AI skill. Freaks is never good without AI skill. Let's go. Can Sextilius pull it off? I'll be honest, I am doubtful. Yeah, he's struggling a bit. Although he's got himself into good position there for a second. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to pull this off. Just can't seem to get the reach he needs, which is a shame. Got some crowd favour though, that'll be good enough for me. Sacredos. Occasional upgrade to agility, sure. Gather even more stones. Probably just buy a regular slave. Comes with 36 in the eye. Good at aggro. Decent health and everything, yeah. That's a worthwhile slave to have. He'd make good scissor, I believe. There we go. That's him somewhat fitted out with equipment. Over here we'll get blade control for extra damage, make our way towards attack vector. Pit fight in 2 days. Could do an exhibition match. Don't know if I want to do an exhibition match, I'll be honest. For now I'll unlock some armor blueprints for blacksmith or Faber. And is that pit fight? Yeah. He's got no victories, he's got a Gladius. I'll send in the Bullet. Pit fights are the best way to get a crowd favour in my mind. It's a good arena for the Bullet to just skewer some of the audience in. Oh, but he does seem to be struggling. He backed into a corner, which might actually prove to be a good thing. It did. If he wasn't backed into that corner, he would have kept backing away and getting hit. He even had his javelin bounce off the wall up there. Look at that. Plenty of money. And got a new person. Who's a Murmillo? Murmillo with high evasion. Evasion then aggro, it should be fine. Don't come with much in the way of training, however. It's a little annoying. This guy, he needs healed up, have some wine as well. And he seems to be doing relatively well in his training. Could do some meditation though. Sacred Oaths. Say Apollo. Apollo should be good. Try and get my food up to 1,000 because I am inevitably just going to forget about it. Always happens. Don't ever mean it to happen, but it does. I might as well give someone this. I guess him for now. Max agility of 59. So training him too far won't be worthwhile. Blade control, next is evasive roll, then attack vector I want to do. And yeah, I'll just buy some more food and water. Don't have anywhere near enough for a good employee yet. Although we are getting a good amount of money from pit fights. Just do an exhibition match here. The Retaris versus... guess the scissor I just got. Retaris I'd imagine will lose, simply because he doesn't have good AI training. Slave I bought who I made into the sizer, he does have some decent AI, I believe it was around 36 or something. Now he's escaped with that. Hopefully this will be quite the one-sided fight. Or not, it is more balanced than I thought it would be. Well, seeing as it's balanced after the net's been used, I'm a bit worried for Retaris there. Should be some good training. That's what really matters. Yeah, it looks like Retaris has lost again. It's a shame, but I didn't expect much to really come of him. Retaris isn't good until later on when you can get good training. Sacred Oaths can get Prayer to Juno. Ah, hello May. Yes, this is endless. Currently just starting out, so you've not missed much. Just making sure I've got plenty of food and water. Trying to keep them around 1,000 each. When's the next pit fight? 9 days. We have the next battle first. Oh, and it's against you. Lovely. Now you're Retaris. I'm allowed 3 different people. Put in my best Frakes from Romillo and I guess this guy. Let's see. Now, I'll be honest, we could lose all of these people, but I wouldn't really mind. I will buy you as soon as I can, don't you worry. It's just for now, we're not really able to because the slaves haven't refreshed. Yeah, I can understand you booing. You're ganged up on by 3 different men. That's not great. Got a new slave. It's always fun to have. And let's see, can we buy you yet? No, I'll need to wait for the next day to come around. Ah, a homeless drunkard grabs your arm in the street and says he knows you. You are without bodyguard. I can pretty much just kick him and run away. Embrace him in a hug despite the fact he smells of piss and shit, and I have no idea who he is. Well, I can just stab him. I mean, you're saying option 2, so sure. That informs you that he's the magistrate's cousin, and reminds you of when you first met. You vaguely recall him as a much younger man and feel pity for how he has fallen to disgrace. As you attempt to part ways, he grabs your bum and squeezes it. You laugh briefly before burying your knee in his groin, and falls to the ground. Satchel of coin falls to the ground as well. Easy money. Well. That's about as expected. I shall also check gladiators. Yeah, we're not buying you there. That's too expensive and you come as a freaks, which is boring. You don't want to be a freaks, I'm sure. A favour, let's get weapon blueprints. Spamming's not really going to help, but if it makes you feel better, go ahead. I mean, at least we get the bots. We get the bots before we get you. Oh, brilliant. Spamming is not going to help, it's just going to fill up the chat. I don't think it's based on frequency of messages, just so long as you have one in before the next lot of slaves come by. I'll leave stream elements for now. Come with. Comes with some decent AI. Just agility and such as well, he might actually be half good. Might want to make him a Valette or something. Pit fight in 3 days, which is good. We're doing good for money as well. So when you do eventually appear, we should be able to buy you. Freaks again, and there. That's not great. I'm not buying you as a freaks. We're definitely not. Like, I know you don't want that as well. To keep this guy happy, I think he refreshes with even more slaves. I do this and arrange an exhibition match. Let's send him against him. Probably not stream elements. Also, he should have been on the other side. I'll send it against him. Let's see. Ah yeah, this is going well. This size is just murdering him. Can he get the weapon in time though? I'm doubtful. He could not. Very little of anything came of that, other than the magistrates being a little bit happier. So yeah, when these refresh again, there should be hopefully more. Before that though, we need to send a Valette into here. Get some crowd favour. Even if he dies, it doesn't matter. He's against another Valette, so I'm a little concerned. His opponent seems to have good throwing damage and good just general damage too. Yeah, I think I might lose this, but get good crowd favour regardless. I will get you an academy, don't worry. Stream elements, you can go there then. I'll make you the new Valette, because he'll be reappearing eventually. There we go. Still not restocked, maybe it's the next day it'll restock. Nope, we need to wait yet another day, and we'll finally be able to buy you, hopefully. If he appears as Frakes again, I'm going to be disappointed, because Frakes is just boring. And we've got a battle this day as well. Seems you need to wait even longer. This game is not on your side. Who do we send in here? Let's get this Rotarius. So I guess send our own one. Let's see, I'm expecting our one to lose, I'll be honest with you. Not got unlucky of stats early on. Do have evasive rolls. Yeah, that's not going to help much though. There he goes, we've lost our Rotarius. We're doing brilliantly so far, aren't we? This is going great. And you're still not here. You haven't even appeared this time, I don't understand. It's just refusing to make you appear as a slave. No, I've not bought you at any point. I'm going to buy you as soon as I can, but sadly it's not happened yet. What are you doing? Are you just typing stuff in the chat to make sure you appear? I think that might be what you're doing. Brilliant, you're just spamming the chat. Ah, and here you are. Look at that, you come with very little AI difficulty and level 1 in health. 80 aggro though, you can be good. Can definitely be good. So what do you want to be today? So far we're able to get Mermillo as a research if you really want it. It's a bit pricey but I could invest it. Ah, for now we've got this. Your husband's wrist is adorned with a new piece of jewellery whose value far exceeds your reach. There are few who could afford such a piece. It can only have come from a legate's wife or magistrate's wife. I mean, just leave it alone I guess. Seeing as that's what you're asking. Try to ignore the obvious signs that your husband is an adulterous whore, and you go on with your life. You're not bitter, not at all. Ah, there's something I should do. Recover cards from... oh never mind, that guy died anyway. There you go, agility training. Give you a bunch of that. Built a bunch of palaces, now dig hot coal pits. Another pit fight as well. This is a better looking pit fight, we can just send stream elements alone to this imagine. But to be on the safe side, we will also send the Sizer. Yeah, you could train weapon strength if you want. I'll get you sorted for that as soon as this pit fight's over. Let's see, did you get any good training? Best training, but you got some decent money. That's fine. And neither of them actually took any damage, which is nice. You wanted weapon 1550. About that. There we go, that's about close, I'll be able to get it. That's the case, I'm going to take your agility training speed off of you. I'll give that to, I guess, stream elements instead. And I guess we could do an exhibition match. Possibly fight those two against each other. Not sure. Very least we'll get attack vector and that'll definitely help. Death isn't good. I mean, I have to disagree with you there. There's a difference between taking maybe 10 damage and taking 8 damage, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're getting hit multiple times, then that does add up. Anyway, let's do an exhibition match of him. Put in Mermillo. I don't want the Mermillo to fight anyone too difficult. I guess with breaks, they should be an even match. Yeah, strength is more damage and more HP. I do understand that. And this is not an even match, is it? It's somewhat evening out now, but as per usual, people of lower reach don't really do well. luckily, no impediments. They can just heal on their own, that'll be fine. Let me just dig a bunch of hot coal pits. I'm not entirely sure how all the stats work together. If we go looking on you, for example. Agility, it says movement speed. However, it also, from what I understand at least, increases attack speed. Which it doesn't say. Weapon increases attack damage. Like, that's definitely true. Does it do something else? Does it increase the crit chance, perhaps? Defense is your base defense points, which just mean you take less damage overall. I don't think there's any extra to that. That's fair enough. Strength, increase hit points, attack damage, and defense resilience. What is defense resilience? It's not the same as resisting attacks naturally, because that's defense points. Is that you get knocked back less, you take less damage through defense? When hitting someone who's defending, do you stop for less time? Who knows? And then that's just AI. AI is all that is. But yeah, there's some stuff it just doesn't tell you. So we'll need to try and figure that out on our own eventually. Next pit fight in 2 days. Who'd we send in? Probably Stream Elements to Villette. Yeah, we've got Attack Vector now as well. That's lovely. Next, I think it's Interpretive Dance we want to go for. Yeah, you'd want a tank or something to be somewhat in the way of defence. For now though, let's just send Stream Elements in. How does a bot handle a pit fight? Let's see. And so far, there's been lots of people murdered in the crowd, so that's a good sign. It means we'll be getting lots of money out of this, hopefully. That's roughly 500 coin. That's all good. To re-equip him with his spears each time though, which is slightly less good. Hot coal pits again. I've got a lot of slaves actually. Any of these new ones any good? We're allowed one gladiator against all of them, and a roaming lion. Yeah, that's not worth it. That is a shame missing out on coin like that. But I'm not sending my people to their death. Could do an exhibition match instead, both of these men want one. Could put you into fight against someone. Who's the weakest other slave? Probably this guy. Although his AI is better. Let's see. You versus this man. Can you be a Mermillo? Of course. I'll get that researched in a minute. I might hold off slightly on doing it, simply because I'd like to get the Doctor Emeritus first. Alright, was that you who got the weapon? I believe so. Yeah, but he's got a better ranged weapon. She immediately disarmed him all. It looks like you're going to come out on top. It's been a good fight. Actually a good bit of training for you. Decent crowd favour as well, but yeah, about 10 AI training for the two of you, which is lovely. Now, how much exactly does the Doctor cost? Just over 2,000. Okay, I'll save up for him, seeing as I've already got a fair bit of money saved up. Several houses have fallen into a handful of desperate and small slave uprisings throughout the city. Magistrate is desperate for men to protect his household. The legate is desperate for men to guard the entrances to the city. This time, I'm going to say no and disagree with you. I'm going to line guards to the legates. While your guards were helping protect the southern entrance to the city, several of the revolting slaves managed to overwhelm the magistrate's villa. Although he escaped without injury, he holds you responsible for his close brush with death. Yeah, I'll get Marmillo once I've gotten the Doctor Emeritus, because I'm pretty close to getting him. Speaking of, next pit fight in 4 days might be all I need. Let's continue gathering stones now we've got this top row set up. Buy a bit more food, dropped below 1,000. Buy more water too, sure. Full armed defense, make a rate interpretive dance. And we can get a pit fight, lovely. Against the Marmillo. Should be fine to send stream elements on their own, we're getting quite good at this. Let's see. Hopefully they murder a few of the crowd. Yeah, this guy's got 66 health, he won't be lasting long. And 2 spears into the crowd. Oh, and a third, lovely, that'll be plenty and plenty of blood in there. That'll be a lot of crowd favour. Yeah, look at that. Almost 600. In fact, we got just 1 coin less than 600. Even got Sextilius. A new Marmillo. You can go there for now. Architect can continue gathering stones. We might want to consider selling someone. I don't really care for this Marmillo if we're going to get you to be one. Can't quite sell him for enough though. I think it was in the 200s, yeah, 2235 please. I'm not going to sell more than one of my somewhat accomplished gladiators. This guy I will give some half decent weapons though. And now we wait. This next battle should hopefully give me enough to actually get the Doctor Emeritus. Once we've got him, we don't really need to worry too much anymore. This is a difficult fight. I might want to send in stream elements again, maybe the bot's the best one to handle it. I think he'll do better from the freaks at least. I'm worried though about damage, he should be able to 1 or 2 shot me if he gets lucky. Let's see. I forgot to buy any good ranged weapons for the Valette. Well, that was a shame. If he had good ranged weapons, maybe he would have survived that. Oh, there's stream elements again in the chat, so we can immediately buy him again. Lovely. I don't understand what stream elements is doing just being a gladiator. There we go. cost a little bit to get him set up. And I guess build some palaces now. We're out of spaces where slaves are. That wasn't a great pit fight. Could try sending someone to do an actual exhibition match or something. Let's see. Sextilis, you're new, versus this guy, the Sizer. Now I think Vanius, the Sizer, will be the one to come out on top here. The Sizer is definitely very powerful. Yeah, look at that. It's back Sextilis into the corner, he's barely taking any damage, and Sextilis is going down. I don't know why occasionally it just appears up there at the very top of the screen. Sextilis got some good AI training from that though, which is always good. Even if he did lose, he still benefited somewhat. 189, yeah, I want to get more money. I need to get the Doctor Emeritus. The answer to this one is yes, I don't care what you vote for. The magistrate's cousin's been slayed under mysterious circumstances. You dedicate 21 coin to investigation. Yeah. Although it proves to be inconclusive, magistrate is appreciative of your participation in the investigation. If I'd said no there, he would have suspected me, I'd imagine. Next... deep breathing. There we go. Oh, it's nice and cheap. Keep building the palaces. Got a new pit fight as well. Lovely. Against a slave who for some reason gets to wear armour. Not much, but he gets to wear armour. So, Stream Elements the second, how will you fare? I hope he survives, or at least doesn't die immediately. I mean, he's fighting a slave. Chances are he will win. There we go. Totally not a biased fight towards my gladiator. Sadly, we didn't get much money out of it though, because there wasn't much need to throw more than the one spear at the start. Which is a shame. It's always good when you murder the crowd, it gets you more money, because they seem to enjoy being murdered. And here though, he's got a wooden gladius. I think it's time to put the Sizer in there. He should do well. He starts up chained, but if he has two weapons he should cut through it quite quickly. Never mind, he doesn't know that he wasn't attacking it a second ago. He does seem to just be murdering the freaks though, he's just walking into his attacks while he was breaking the chain. So, I don't know how I managed to turn that fight around, but I did. That should hopefully be enough for quite an early Doctor Emeritus. Damn, slightly short. Do we sell the Murmillo? He's not very good. It's worth 191. Sure. There he goes. Now we can get the Doctor Emeritus. Got very little money left. However, that's definitely going to be a worthwhile investment. All we need to do is an exhibition match or something. I'll send some slaves in to fight each other. Make sure I don't send you in. Unless you want to be the one to fight him, eh? What do you think? Do you want to fight some naked men? Or a naked man? There's not going to be multiple. So far you've had the one victory. so you might be able to pull it off again. Not sure. Let's see. You're wearing pink underwear this time. Let's see if that is your lucky colour. Oh, it would seem it was. You managed to get that weapon right away. Look at that. What more could you ask for? Probably money. We didn't get a lot of money. Do I have a Retarius though? Don't quite remember where we got him from. Doesn't sell for a lot. And yeah, we can't get mentorship right now. We need the money. Can't get... Let's go for low stats, that's cheaper. Pit fight in 13 days. It's a while until we get a good fight in for money. That is a nuisance. Plenty of food to go around, which is nice. Do we want to send someone to fight one of the champions? Might stand a chance for 6. Or the Sizer with the 6 even. I believe that's the guy you just fought. The naked slave man. Fighter in your mighty name. Not sure. He's naked. He doesn't have anything to his name. It's fine to let him go. Now, what should we do? Do we want to just speed up the game? Do we want to try fighting a champion? Because I'd imagine we stand a decent chance against him. Maybe not the best chance ever, but this could work out to be decent fights. What do you think? Now, he's gotten quite powerful already, so I might say no. I might try and get him a little bit more powerful. But I've never been one to make good decisions. Let's go. He's going to die, I'd imagine. Yeah, we're losing Thalius. I mean, I saw it coming. I shouldn't have sent him. All that means is we get a new person to be one of the Sizers. 29 AI on him, he could be good for it. Doesn't get much other than the weapons for now though. Because we are on desperate and need money. Can afford to buy food and such though. It's very cheap. A flash flood has damaged the villas of both Legate and the Magistrates. While if you're too proud to ask for temporary residence in your villa, you are nonetheless expected to offer them your home. Or offer your home to them, as it says exactly. Now I believe neither of them are currently getting on with me all that well. So sure, I'll go with option 2. Magistrate declines your offer, but is pleased. Yeah, there's a flood going on. So that means I'm not able to buy any more food and such. Means I'm very lucky to have already stockpiled a massive amount of it. Do you want to give agility training to someone? Potentially Retarius. Yeah, sure, agility training for Retarius. Get 2 gladiators against the Frakes, who's not all that good. Perfect. I think possibly send in stream elements. We need to get Vlek doing a little bit better. And you know what, let's send in our Frakes. He's one we started with, has some decent equipment. Yeah right, the fights do seem rather easy while you're still a slave. But we're not sending you in without a class. How is the Frake so terrible when it's fighting on your side? It only does well if it's on the right hand side of the screen, I don't get it. I mean we won, that's all that matters really. Still, I don't get it. Should try and get mentorship. Just another pit fight, so we have 3 days to wait. And we need stream elements to win. Is it aggro? Is aggro how much space you actually close between you and the enemy? So that would somewhat make sense. Fight in 1 day. There we go. Pit fight against the Vlek. Send in stream elements. He does have spears, which is good. Let's see. Hopefully we'll get enough for Mermillo and some of the training with Mr. Doctor Emeratus. It's quite the quick fight though, not many of the crowd got impaled. Okay, we got enough for some decent money. Not enough for any good money. Yeah, we might want to try and get a champion training sooner rather than later. Equip him with some basic armor and I'll put him into a fight against someone. I think Servilis versus Sextilius, that should be a good fight. Hopefully it'll get us some money. Odd doing exhibition matches for money. It often doesn't work out. It seems Sextilius and Mermillo is failing here. Sizer is just a better job yielding class. Although both seem to have gotten to relatively low health. It still could really go either way. I believe that was a Sizer at one go. Both got some good training. Max agility of 58. It's not amazing. But it could have been worse. Still can use him. Now from an exhibition match, 82 is fine. Not expecting any more than that this early on anyway. It's enough to get us over to Master Mimic without too much bother. As soon as we've got that, we can get people actually training up properly. Pit fight in 14 days. God, these take ages. You fight the worst slave, sure. Let's see, get you in, and you can fight. Maybe this guy's the worst. Let's see. This time you're in your blue underwear. Can you win? Now, it could really go either way. Both of you are deciding to run right off the bat, however he's got the weapon first. When the next weapon's coming behind him, you are at a disadvantage. However, having snuck past him, you could be able to turn the tables. It looks like you're going to win. Look at that. It was looking like you were going to lose there at the start, but you turned it around. Pretty good training for two of you. Not a lot of money though. It's typically how it goes with slave fights, so. Both of you can have a little bit of wine. Should be gathering stones of him as well. As trade happens upon you, purchasing new sandals in the market. The clobberer is a distant cousin of whom you have some rapport, despite the fact that his halitosis is offensive and unyielding. We all know how this goes. So, I think option number 3. Lovely. We learn that he has 6 toes on one of his foots and hides it because of a wives' tale. But that means we can also sell it to the magistrates for slightly more money and a bit of influence. It's only 7 coin we got for. I was hoping for more. Also, who did we give agility training to? Was it Veritarius? It was. Agility training seems to be going well. Okay, next actual battle on one day. Got increased training speed, next is Master Mimic. Then we should be safe. Oh, I say we should be safe. We've got one of these proper fights. Now, I'd love to get money from this one, option 1, that is probably not going to do well though. Option 3 comes with 2 slaves and gets good money. However, it's 1v1 and it's a sizer. Option 1 is lots of people. This one is lots of people against this one person. You can definitely win this one in the middle. I'm doubtful about this one, I don't think I can do this one, so I'm going to go with the one in the middle. Just want to win this, we don't care too much about crowd favour. I don't want to go against a scissor, or sizer, or whatever they're called. This one's not got a lot of money, however, it should turn out relatively well. Let's see. Yeah, we got pretty much double what we were supposed to get, thanks to the spear landing in the crowd. If I'd paid more attention to the arena I was going to be in, I probably would have done that differently. But oh well. Next pit fight in 7 days. And let's get Marmillo. Yeah, we can just sell these, you are correct. Got a lot of them. Auto heal though, we should give to someone. Auto heal to Stream Elements, seeing as they're going to go into pit fights. Now we just wait for Marmillo to get researched, I'd imagine. Both of those are just training next to each other, look at them, they're very good friends. Let's separate them. Oh, there's your run, down there. Built a palace, I guess, keep building them. Yeah, I remember your armour, don't you worry. As soon as we've got money and the Marmillo class unlocks, we will get you your armour and weapons. Okay. This is a confusing one. Only real threat I can see here is potentially this Freight and him. Let's send in a fair few people, try and get this one. Don't think I want to send in any more than that, I want to keep at least 2 people behind. Both of them are Marmillos, however. Not sure, I'll send in 1 extra. Who's got better damage? This guy who's got better AI skill, this guy. I'll send in the one with better AI skill. AI is easy to get up once you have Master Mimic, so we won't need to worry about that. Yeah, it seems we're cutting them down easily. Yeah, we did not lose anyone. That was brilliant. Hopefully a good bit of money as well. Decent training, not best, but yeah, that money is what matters. That's about 600 coin from that. Yeah, we will need to go through and heal people who've lost too much health. Yeah, he's still got his spear, so that's fine. Sizer, Millo. They'll be fine. Heal Vritarius, and that's about it. We also need to give him a weapon. There we go. Your stats, they're looking pretty good, I must say. As soon as you have Master Mimic, though, they're going to start looking a lot better, I'd imagine. Now let's get some hot coal pits dug. Potentially do an exhibition match as soon as you have Master Mimic. But what about other gladiators? Master Mimic basically means when you fight someone you gain more training afterwards. Like, largely I use it to quickly train up the AI skill. However, it's also good for training up any other skill. Like, normal fights you'd get maybe 8, maybe 10, 12 if you're lucky. And one of the stats, if you have a nice balanced fight with someone, you can get up to maybe 25 if you have max Master Mimic. Or at least that's the highest I've seen it go. Anyway, both the Legate and the Magistrate have planned celebrations for Aganalia. They both request your champion gladiator to perform a non-lethal exhibition. I have a feeling my champion gladiator would just murder the opponent. Both the men are assaulted. You do not receive an invitation to either celebration. That is a shame. However, knowing my gladiators, they would have likely tried to murder the other person. Let's get automatic yield. We can finally give you some weapons. For now, nothing too expensive, but I will give you some decent armour. Potentially give you some more stuff if you manage to win a pit fight somewhere. Speaking of, I'll put you against the Murmillo in a pit fight. That should actually do decent now, because we just got the Master Mimic as well. Who's weakest? Murmillo, this guy. Let's see. Ah, there's someone else here. Hello. Good to see another face around. Or username, I guess. Not really a face. I'll try and buy as a gladiator when I can. Do you have any preference for what kind of gladiator you want to be? Because we do have beta stuff, so you can be one of the fancy ones. Look at that AI training now, compared to maybe the 12 or something you'd get before. This is why I love Master Mimic. Like, Master Mimic 1 is good for AI. Master Mimic 3 is brilliant for AI because you'll gain maybe 700 in a single match. You can only have 100 at most though, so it's not the most useful, I'll be honest. I'll wait for the next battle to come around. You might be able to see you in there, my Minolch. I might just call you Mai. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce your name. Let's see, are any of these named after you? Got this middle one. You've got a Murmillo in there. How do you feel being a Murmillo? Because I'm not going to fight you because I do not stand a chance in that fight. Ah, mini itch. Okay, that makes sense. It's intercapping, but I thought it might be an L. Yeah, my mini itch thing, that's all fine. I use intercapping in my name as well, so I can hardly fault you there. Anyway, out of all these fights, I'd say this first one looks the most promising. It's not worth a lot, we get a bunch of food and such out of it, which isn't too important. But this fight here might be decent. Sagittarius doesn't put up much of a fight usually, because they're ranged. And these are both people who should be dual wielding, but don't have two weapons. So I think that could work. Only real problems with Frakes and potentially the Sir. What do you two think? I think I might be able to handle this. This one I'll definitely be able to handle. Sadly, we're not going to be fighting you, my mini itch. Now, both I'm allowed many gladiators, so I should be fine. I believe this one will be 4 or 5 I'm allowed, this one will be 5, I think. Possibly 6. Ah yes, you could be too powerful in there. I mean, look at you, with that one sword, when you could be using 2. Yeah, I'll go for option 3, I think I can do it. I'm allowed 5 people, and I've got some fairly powerful people I can put in, including what is now one of my better gladiators, Yumi. Indeed, you're wielding your fists. Sadly, you can't actually fight with your fists, and I think that could be a fun thing they could add. Who else do we send in? I think the Sizer of Sexes. Maybe Rataris, just to net some people early on. Let's see. This should be quite the biased fight in my favour. It's really hard to say for certain though. We've immediately lost about everyone. Well. That didn't go as well as I thought, or as I'd hoped. Got a lot of money though, that's good. We'll need to buy everyone back, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. For now, move everyone up, so we've got some people training. We looked in there a second ago, yeah. Looking here, I'm getting you one of UMA, and you do start as a Mermillo. Bit pricey. What training do you come with? Got attack at 24, agility 17. Might be worthwhile. Pretty expensive when I can train you quite easily. Is that a basic karma you come with? Sure. I'd say that's just worth it. Because they are quite expensive weapons of karma. Let me just try and get you my mini itch. Hopefully it shouldn't be too hard. Currently going for deeper humility, so we'll be able to train everyone up in exhibition matches without any bother at the very least. And we'll need to think of who we want to be the new Valette to chuck spears into the crowd and murder them for their own entertainment. And I'll probably get nimble stance at this point. Got more of these as well. I'll give you agility training this time I think, Annie, unless you want otherwise. I mean, you've got mostly evasive and turtle. I do think you need agility to do any good job in there. Any more slaves yet? Iron Chef the Chariot. I've always got fun names for chariots, don't they? Sadly, you're not in there, my maniac. She'll need to hopefully get you at some point soon. Because it'd be nice to train everyone up. We need to get a new valet. It's got 46 AI skill. This guy's got more balanced stats. That guy is terrible. Oh, we've got our new valet then. Uh, 25 agility. Oh, it's annoying to actually balance things out. Okay, if I leave that there for a second. Back to about there. I honestly hate balancing things out proportionately. I think that would be about correct. I don't think I'll get much better. Yeah, we'll need to send our new guy into a pit fight. He has to fight a Frakes with a Puja. That should be more than manageable. Luckily they don't have a Twitch chat name, so I won't feel bad about murdering them. I would say yes, but we need to send in the valettes to pit fights just so they can murder the crowd. I'm sorry. Like, murdering the crowd's where you get most of your money from. Because when the Dave came along that one time to stream, said you get money from how much blood is on the ground, and as you can see, lots of blood from murdering the crowd. Send you into exhibition matches though, don't you worry. He's currently not happy, so send you in. You can fight this guy, Nevermore. Let's see. You should win this with relative ease. Don't know what on earth happened to your sprite up there. Oh, come on. Sextilius shouldn't be getting the best of you. I wanted to give you a big two-handed sword. I think having a two-handed sword would help. Can you have hold, you asked? Got all that AI training. Lovely. What do you mean hold? So, hold ground. There it is. I wasn't even aware I had that. I must have earned that at some point. Yeah, let's give you a two-handed sword. You need better reach on you if you're going to be blocking and dodging. Still nothing great in there. Potentially want another exhibition match. Probably a Pious versus... we say Magnus? Nah, I'd say probably this guy, the Frakes. We can't even do an exhibition match just yet, that's fine. Sextilius has appealed. Sadly, no. We need as many people right now as we can get. It's health of your gear. Alright. So it's because you have some damaged equipment right off the bat because I bought you. Always wondered why I only saw it on the people I bought as gladiators and not anyone I trained up from scratch. Pit fight in 4 days, your training looks to be going well. We need to get an exhibition match sometime though. More coal pits for when you inevitably get more slaves. I might even want to just buy some unnamed slaves. This guy even comes in a blind rage. What more could you ask for? Defense is hard to train in battle. Like, defense never goes up as much as your attack or anything. And I think now we want to make our way up to Master Mimic 3. If you are still watching, by the way, I'm in itch, and you want to get a gladiator named after you, if you're active in the chat, I believe that's what makes him pop up. Like, just send a message every now and again. You should be able to get one named after you, and hopefully train them up to be quite powerful. Your husband suffers from hemorrhoids. This is a problem. Why this is a problem for you, you don't fully understand, but you won't stop whining about it. Then hire a medicus to make some ointment. Get him drunk. A small round pillow with a hole in it. You don't need to spam. You really don't. Please don't spam. Option 3 then. It seems buying the pillow alleviated his swollen anus, but did not stop his swollen anus personality. Later gladiators have a good laugh at his misfortune. Ah, you are here. Perfect, you put messages in it. You should hopefully appear at some point then in the next round of slaves. Possibly this round of slaves if you're quick enough. I don't think you're quite quick enough. But we should do another exhibition match. I may you again against our spearman. So we need to get you a bunch of training for exhibition matches. Since you have master mimic, it's probably the best way. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, my miniature. No need to apologise or anything. And I hardly take priority over the rest of your life. I am but a random man on the internet. That's pretty skilled of you, mate. You just chucked a spear while you held your two-handed sword one-handed. Awfully proud of you for that. Yes, I already knew that you're talented in me. You're the only gladiator I've ever had who's gotten 2 weapons with just under 700 attack each. I don't even know how that's a thing you get allowed. And do we get new slaves yet? No, it'll be in the day of the battle. So potentially a pit fight might be an idea. Ah, and here you have appeared, I'm an itch. Sadly, as an enemy. That is a shame. I think probably option 1 seems good. My mini itch is a bit worrying though, your gladiator. Luckily, they're a Murmillo who's using a one-handed weapon. And we've got an AI skill of 5, that should be fine. Ah, sure, I'll fight him away. I can even put you up against him. See how you manage. I'll send in the Frakes as well as backup. You don't need more than 2 people, I wouldn't think. Ah, send in someone with good AI skill. Like Sextilius, there we go. Let's see. There's a chance if we murder you here, we'll get you back immediately as a slave. Oh, you can't boo us, just because we're murdering you in cold blood in the arena. Can't believe you. Why would you ever be against that? Sadly, we did not get you immediately. But you have appeared here. Lovely. Come with level 11 health. That's actually really nice. Which class do you want to be? I'll get you trained up quickly if I can. Yeah, Poison Blade is good. Not so much for Murmillo. Murmillo's a bit too slow in his attacks. Good for a Sizer potentially, early on. Yeah, what are you thinking, my miniature? Do you want spear and you throw spears as well? Do you want to... I'm not going to let you be a charioteer actually, never mind. Do you want to be a Murmillo? A big two-handed sword also? Frakes is boring, but he's got a sword and a shield. Taris, I could go and unlock. I believe I've got all the prerequisites. It's a shield, spear, and a net. Sizer is my favourite. 2 hooked blades, strips enemies' armour off and disarms them and such. Does lots of damage as well. Or of a Sagittarius, who I've never gotten used to, but he has a bow and arrow. Now, Sagittarius I've never actually been able to make good. It seems how the AI works is to pick a target and then they just rush that target. That's all they do. So if you let me know which you want at some point, I will make you into that. For now though, you do need healed up. And we're able to get Master Mimic 2 on the go. Lovely. Oh god, I just realised we are in desperate need of food. I knew earlier on I'd forget about it. That's why I stocked up so much, because I already forgot about it now. Poison Blade, I think for now I'll give to him. Armour Stewardship, I'll be honest, that doesn't really matter. And yeah, there is a pit fight. I can send you in as well if I really want. When you get to fight yet another person, or person, in inverted comma, from Twitch chat, it's the bot who puts my Discord link in there, for anyone who's interested. Now, normally I'd put him. However, I think you need some training. We need to get a proper gladiator setup, able to murder everyone. So, let's see. Can you murder the bot? The answer is a surprising yes. You are stronger than a robot. That is fast, but it's not fast enough. I'll consider giving you Poison Blade at some point, alright? Just first it's going to go to people who have like ranged weapons and such. Your weapon isn't so much ranged. Yeah, pretty much like Attack on Titan guy. Can't ever remember names of Attack on Titan people, but I know there was Marco, because I had a friend who was really upset when Marco died in the first season. I just annoyed him continuously by saying Polo whenever they brought it up. That was a good time. I need to buy food again, I keep forgetting about that. The guards have found a caged lion. Imagine using a beast as a gladiator against your competitors. I can set it free, train it, sell it, or pet it. Now, I'm definitely not petting it. I can say that for certain. If I do that, he will maul several of my gladiators. It's a terrible, terrible idea. And yeah, you're saying to sell him, that's fine. The beast fetches 96 coin at a market. Lovely. That's even more money. You're finally healed up, Mini Itch, so what are you wanting? Personally, I think we still need a good scissor. They're probably my favourite class. I wouldn't say there's another one better. I'll do an exhibition match as soon as we have Mini Itch with a class, because he needs to get some AI training. Think if the two of you are Scissor and Murmillo, you're going to be murdering everyone you go into. As long as you do fight as a duo anyway. End of the day though, it is up to you, Mini Itch. Do let me know who you like the best. I mean, Villette's also good, the only problem is he didn't get good armour for later on. Sagittarius, I just think they suck a bit, they're not very good. But any of the three base classes, they definitely can work, since they come with good armour and weapons. Or they can come with good armour and weapons. Okay, I'll give you like 20 seconds to answer. If you don't, I'm just going to make you a scissor, because we need to get some training on you. While we wait for that to happen, I'll buy some food. Buy some water, I guess, as well. And there has been no response. I'm going to make you a scissor. I will interchangeably use scissor and sizer though, so don't you worry. Let's have an exhibition match. Who should we be fighting against? Say probably against one of these new people. This guy, Fastidious, they should be good fights. I'm not going to make you fight that many people. Like, first we need to get AI training done. So, Miniatch versus... who should he fight? That was Fastidious, I said, I believe. You know what, let's chuck in some extra people. Get some more training in there. And... there we go. Let's see a 2-on-2 fight. Oh, one other thing, which you may not know very much. When the dev came into my stream like a few weeks ago, they're testing out the bot, so if you put tons of A's in your yeah when you're cheering me on, or your boo when you're booing for me, I guess if you put extra O's, it'll show up with all those extra O's or A's. That can be a fun thing to try and do, just flood my screen with letters. I would say I advise against it, but honestly I don't really care, it's half the fun. Well, I don't know if it works with booing, I'll need to test that out next match. Which might actually be right now, because we're able to. I'll put you against 2 people though, see how this goes. Okay. I'm going to boo for this with loads of O's. Let's see. Okay, but O's don't work in the boo. I know the yeah works. If I do this, you see all those A's. Now, this is quite a tough fight for you, mate. You do stand a chance, but they're definitely getting on top of you. Yeah, I think you've been bested. Got some good training out of it though. Yeah, like, you don't have high aggro. I wasn't expecting you to do well against a group. Typically when fighting a group of people you need high aggro or you just won't attack ever. Might make it worth getting defensive shuffle. I've got enough money to go and invest in that. Need to buy more food, I keep forgetting to do that. Let's get cleats, then Master Mick. The third, that'll be perfect. And yeah, none of them. I was about to go look at a pit fight, but we can't. We can, however, get a lot of money from fighting here. Now, I would have liked to put you in there, me, I'll be honest. I do think he's still easy to beat. Agility is a bit worrying. He's got 46 agility. Got 40 AI skill, which isn't too bad. Damage is fine. Sure. But yeah, I was going to put you. I don't want to when you're this low in health. So this might actually be a fight for Miniatch. Against the Freaks, it could be a little concerning. Maybe I want to put like the guy I don't care about, the Vlette. The Vlette, sure. That should do well. The extra range will be good against the freaks. I believe this Villette's the one who has the poison blade, or whatever it was. Yeah, you should be doing perfectly here. Look at that. The poison cut off the man's leg. Don't quite understand how poison does that. However, that's not my place to really complain about, is it? Can you have weapon train speed? Sure, there you go. Bleed resist. That's a new one, I don't believe I've seen that before. Give that to him, our best freaks I don't particularly care about. Then do 50-50 on agility and weapon, I'd assume. Got good training for both of them. Or the training bonus cards anyway. So that should be all good for you. Buy more food. Buy some water too, sure. Got another exhibition match here. Let's get Mini-Itch trained up. Put him and someone with slightly less AI skill versus less AI skill and less AI skill. Let's see. Now I have noticed that one of their guys, I mean they've immediately been stripped of their trousers, I was going to say they were missing one of their weapons, I believe that's in their Miller. Although, you are going to come out on top, which is always good. Never want to be coming out on the bottom. Mostly because it's not an expression. Yeah, this guy should be having 2 weapons as a Murmullo. Mini-Itch, I believe I can leave without healing. I can heal this guy for free. I heal Mini-Itch for free as well. Where is he? Did I heal him up accidentally? Cannot heal. Guess he's already healing then. I thought I'd avoided healing him. Got a pit fight to do. Do you want a second Villette? Kind of, yeah. Even have a fancy, I was going to say fancy helmet or something, but they're quite expensive. I'll give him just the helmet. Oh, it's only the one person who goes in. Appius, in you go. Murder the slave, please. I know you can do it. And if you can, murder some of the crowd as well. Did he throw all of his ranged weapons at once? He might have, you know. But at least he murdered some of the crowd, so you get a bit of crowd favour. Just don't quite understand how crowd favour works, even after having it very briefly explained by one of the devs. Strength train speed. But you don't have space for it, you want to hold ground. No, I'm going to give strength train speed to someone else who needs max health. Let's give it to him. There we go. Have max strength training. Should really make Mini-Itch get some proper training for something. I'll go with agility. 50-50 agility and weapon. There we go. Build another palace and we've pretty much filled up this courtyard. And I'm gonna do option 2. I don't care what people vote for here really, but I will wait. If any of you are all that mean, then you can say just no and keep him training. No more votes coming in. I'm just going to go for option 2 then. Oh. Oh, it's just one of the slaves, that's fine. God, I didn't know you could just die from that. That's a bit depressing, isn't it? Very much unexpected. However, we can now have another fight. I'll put the two of Twitch chat members against each other. Now, it does look like you've got the advantage of me. However, it's worth considering he is a sizer. Who wins? It's going to be a tough one. I'm going to cheer on Mini-Itch just simply because I think he has a disadvantage here. Sadly, I was correct, he did have the disadvantage. Or she, potentially. Or they. I'm not going to try and specify your gender pronouns if you don't say. I don't really know who you are, seeing as you're just someone that came along to the stream. All we know for certain though is that was actually a pretty decent fight as in terms of getting you both training. Do we think we're ready to do one of the championship fights? I'd like to wait until you have Master Relic to do that. Yeah, what you do if you have High Turtle and Evasion is in a one-on-one fight, you'll block until you get a chance where he like rolls away or something, and then you'll attack. Want an even better weapon? I mean, I could give you the better weapon. Not a massive increase in damage or anything though, I'll be honest, it's very expensive for no good reason. It even weighs more. But sure, there we go. 6 extra damage. We'll wait until we get Master Rick 3, then we'll send you in against one of the champions. Even potentially consider buying proper Gladiator. Maybe not him though, he's a Frakes. We need defensive shuffle. With that, you should do a lot better in the fight, I mean. So while defending, you'll be able to back away from your opponents, get the distance you need to get an attack in. Oh, first of all, we have this. What should be a nice tag team match with the two of you. Let's see. Hopefully Mini-Itch doesn't die, because you are injured already. Let's see. Mini-Itch going on the offensive. Will Mini-Itch die? Possibly, yes. Yeah, Mini-Itch is gone. That is a shame. Let's try and buy him back at some point. Or buy them back, even. Again, with gender pronouns, don't want to be assuming anything. But look at that. Cleaved his leg clean off. Yeah, I might have overestimated Mini-Itch. She hasn't had much training yet. And I'd imagine we won't be able to buy you back anytime too soon. To at least wait until the next set of slaves come around and you will need to reappear in the chat. Okay, Unime, you try to team up against someone who is somewhat dangerous, and sadly, you were a good meat shield, that's about it. Anyway, by chance, Avinter's accidentally delivered a cask of very expensive wine to your Lewis that was intended for your competitor. Should we just tell him he's got the wrong one? Accept for myself, gift to magistrate, or gift it to the legate? Well, I like how it's only magistrate specified as a gift, the other one's just giving it to him. But I guess option 3 seems to be what we need. And he seems happy with that. Can even buy you back miniature to get you back into training. Let me know what class you want while you're healing up. I'll try and get you once you're healed and ready to go into exhibition matches. Time being though, we're going to send a May here to fight everyone's favourite, very weak Frakes champion. I really wish you could do like fisticuffs or something in this, that'd be great fun. Imagine just seeing your slaves punching each other rather than having to run around naked until a weapon gets just dropped in. Yeah, and one-on-ones, high evasiveness and turtle, you should be doing very well for yourself, I mean. As you just saw there, you took very little damage. Even got a reduced training coin, which I believe should go to the doctor first. One thing I should consider though, is I believe I've got enough money to buy a new Emeritus of some kind. What are you thinking? Should we get the Faber, Medicus, or Architect? Architect doesn't do anything too fancy, I'll be able to get me new employee slots though. I think he should be fine coming in as one of the last people. Faber Emeritus can restock the Valette Spears, also can upgrade a bit quicker. Medicus will heal impediments and gladiators, however, that's also a very nice thing to have. We're thinking Faber. We're not going to be getting anything too fancy from him anytime too soon. But sure. Let's get the Faber Emeritus. First we need to get improved furnace, and then we'll likely leave him alone for a while because he's rather expensive. Over here we've now got Master Mech 3, so exhibition matches are all safe. Next, Lion Urine, then into mentorship. I've got 2 exhibition matches ready. Who do you want to put into an exhibition match? I think you're doing fine for yourself, and you'll get enough training out of actual fights. So get exhibition match with this guy, Valette. They need some extra training, so I'll put them in against our Frakes guy who I don't really care for, I'll be completely honest with you. Seems roughly balanced this fight. One thing I do like about the exhibition matches is the crowd seems to be impervious to spears in it, as opposed to the pit fights. But there we go, the fight ended, and surprisingly, the Frakes came out on top. Plenty of training for both of them though. That gets passed on somewhat to these other guys. We'll need to make a giant fight at some point. And you can get the... it's not a giant, it's a behemoth I believe they're called. You can earn them in the championships. I think I've gotten one just for one time and it died pretty much immediately after because you're not able to train them at all. They're pretty much like lions if you know how lions work. Yeah, should we put you back into another fight to me? What do you think? So you stand a good chance, probably against the Retarius. I'll get you some more training as well. But yeah, you've got 174 damage on you, you'll tear through his net. That's all good. There goes his net around you, and now you should just be able to dodge, roll and murder. It's a bit like Netflix and chill, but a lot less family friendly, I'd imagine. Not that the Prior's all that family friendly either. Yeah, but look at this, you're just doing that thing they do in anime where you quickly draw your sword and just swipe them in a blink of an eye. Look at that. I'm not even seeing your weapon move. Okay, saw it move just then, and then. These other times I'm not. It's only animating for a split second. Yeah, you're currently at max health. You're not going to be losing this, I would think. And there he goes. With 2 of those championships now done, it should be safe to say we can go to one of the giant fights and potentially win ourselves a giant. But look at that crowd favour. That's the first time we've seen crowd favour go quite that high after just a regular fight. That's impressive. Guess we'll just send you into another match immediately, see if we can get even more money. We just need you, we don't need anyone else. That's all that matters. You should be able to probably 3-shot this guy, I'd imagine. Yeah, seeing as we got plenty of crowd money from the last fight, you'll be able to get the equipment you like. This should be less in the way of money, but we should get plenty of cards. Got a horse. The horse is Desert Fox. Well, Desert Fox, you've been sold. This guy, he's not doing great. Is he doing better than him? Yes, he is. Anyway, Mini Itch, do you know which class you want to be? Because you're on your way to getting healed up, so I'll put you into some exhibition matches before too long. Now, Scissor or Scissor class is definitely one of my favourites, but it's up to you. What are the classes? Classes, you have the Villette, a person with a spear who chucks other spears. So basically dual wielding spears. Got Charioteer, a sword and a whip. They're meant for chariot races, which I won't be doing anytime this stream, I'd imagine, simply because, I mean, take 10 days to do. That's a lot of time in the grand scheme of things. Got Marmillo, that's what a May is. You dual wield weapons until you get yourself a 2-handed sword. With Frakes, you have a sword and a shield. Retaris, I could do research into. Frakes. Alright, sure. I'll try and make a good Frakes for once. Normally the Frakes doesn't ever get all that fancy. I mean, it is the boring one, but you can't tell him that. You'll make him regret it. But yeah, we'll send you into some matches against people. Get you some AI training and such. Hopefully before long we'll be able to have you on the front lines in actual fights. I think you've got enough health now to go into an exhibition match. You've only got the Legate, so here we go. Miniatch, I will put you in with someone else. I'll put you in with a slave, there we go. That'll make it exciting. And you can go against this guy. The reason I've put a slave in with you is hopefully he'll take some of the aggro off at the start. Doesn't seem to be doing a great job. The other Frakes you're fighting has better AI skill, however he seems to be losing. Yeah, it would seem you will be coming out on top. Look at that slave, he's all happy that he won. He definitely contributed to the fight now. Yeah, but look at all that training he just got, isn't that perfect? You're now maxing AI. Even got about 11 in both agility and weapon, which is nice. God, we've got a lot of these. Reduced delay, that goes to him every time. Reduced training time goes to him as well. Don't care for that one. Don't care for that one. Would you like to have weapon train speed, Mini-itch? Get you all the damage you possibly could. Could be interesting. You're not wanting it, but I'll give it to probably one of the other guys. Alright, if you're going to insist so much. There we go. Max weapon training, we'll get you trained up quickly in that. And for you and me, I did promise we'll get you some better equipment. We'll be spending an awful lot on you. So hopefully that'll be worthwhile. There we go. That's you looking awfully fancy now. I know normally you like the Centaurian helmet, but I'm going to give you the Minotaur one, simply because that looks quite fancy. I do hope you like it. If you don't, I can always downgrade your equipment. And do we have new exhibition matches anytime soon? No. We do have a pit fight, however, though. Potentially dangerous one. That Frakes is a good weapon. No one else seems to have good weapon. We've got a few slaves in here. A few Murmillos. With little worrying. We've got plenty of money. I'm not going to do a risky fight. If I knew the exact stats of all of them, I potentially would. But no. I don't think I want to risk losing some people. Because while I do have a lot of good gladiators, they can still die if I get unlucky. Speaking of unlucky, this guy is going to be viciously murdered by you. He's got a very impressive name though. Hygienist of Hell. It's like the soap dispenser in there. Now, for some reason, you're both trying to defend an awful lot. Now, seemingly, you do have the advantage, seeing as you haven't lost any health yet, and that is entirely his blood on the ground. Now, he is trying to attack you, but you're great at defending. The defensive stats when you block with a two-handed sword, I don't know what they actually are, but you don't seem to get hit much. Look at that, 2,000 gold. Guess we're getting a new Emiratus of some kind. Also, the chariot can go, we'll do chariot races some other time. Yeah, that was a very, very one-sided fight. Your stats are starting to look rather impressive. I don't see why you wanted agility and weapon train speeds, but you're doing well on them. We need to get more of this. I mean, when I bought you, you didn't come with all that great stats, just equipment. That's all. Okay, once the architect's done building Babs, I'll replace him. I think I've got enough money coming in at this point that I should be safe to get the architect Emiratus. I think probably go for dismemberment. I believe that gets you a bit more money. Jupiter's blessings, we won't need that. This one, guess can go to him. That can go there. No pit fights, no exhibition matches. Do send Mini-itch into an exhibition match full soon. Send some wine there, keep them both happy. Or happier. And here we go, exhibition match. Miniatch, pick your opponent. Who do you want to fight? You could fight another Frakes like you did last time. We did manage to beat you last time, though. Can't remember who you fought. I think it might have been Hissidious here. Just fight Polio. See how you cope against them. They're fairly new. You don't even have a good weapon. Okay, you want to fight a weak one. I'm not going to make it too easy on you. I'll also send in a slave against you. Let's see. What we want is for you to have an even match, more than an easy match. Because if it's an even match, you're going to end up getting more training in the end. Doesn't seem that that was an even match, however. Get much training? Ah, you got 20 in each, that's fine. That's more than justifiable. That guy needs a better weapon as well. Yeah, you're doing pretty well so far. Considering you've been in 2 exhibition matches, you've got some good stats. Now what do we do here? It's going to be an interesting one, this. This one looks to be in the pit fight arena, judging by a background. I don't know if that's actually true. I mean, fight number 1 gets you the most money, that's definitely true. Fight number 2 comes with an extra card though. But yeah, I do think not knowing what this guy exactly has is a bit worrying. All we know for certain is he doesn't have a shirt for some reason. Clearly he's trying to be very manly. I think probably this first fight's the best one. Let's go for this. Now, could we put in you, Miniatch? What do you think? I think you stand a good chance here. And you've got more damage, got less health. He's got high agility actually, never mind. Miniatch isn't going to be able to do this, I don't think. He's not got enough training. You on the other hand, Boamay, you are going to just murder him, I think. I'm sorry to get your hopes up, Miniatch, I really am. If you didn't have almost 100 agility, then I would have put you in. It's just if he managed to get the better reach on you, then definitely would have been the end of you. And you are right, it is favouritism. Definitely favouritism. I mean, look at his stats. He isn't going to lose. We'll get you an exhibition match for Miniatch. We're going to try and get you an evenly balanced match. So you've got 233 and 88 damage. Potentially, what would be an even match is going up against this guy. They've not actually been into a fight yet. Let's see. They do have throwing weapons and they've got better range. It's not looking too even, although they have gotten a few hits in. I'd say this should get you some good training. Wasn't quite as even a match as I'd hoped for, sadly. But you did get 12 training in both, which is lovely. That guy doesn't need healing, Polio doesn't, you do, and this guy does. Here we've got a 4th viewer. Hello, whoever's joined. I know one of the viewers is just me on my phone making sure the stream's working. But there's actually another person in here who isn't me. It's also not Stream Elements, I don't think, despite them just popping in. Clearly, Domina must be a very exciting and popular game. Got a pet fight. You know what? Any itch, you can do this one. I don't expect this person to win. You need to get some more fights under your belt. I mean, I won't kill you. If anyone kills you, it'll be this man. Don't worry, I'd never kill you. But look at that. You've just cut his head off right at the end as well. 17 training in each. This guy's not good, so we're just going to get sold. Because even the slaves at this point have good AI skill and such, from mentorship. And you're now getting all that much closer to 100 in both those top two stats. Maybe, towards the end, you'll be able to fight on par with our top gladiator right there. During a festival of Forest Fortuna at your villa, both the legate and magistrate have set their perverted eyes on the same slave girl. Being stupid of wine, we have started a quarrel over which one of them will better. You side with whom? I can send the slave away. Just say, no, you're both horny and drunk. I can suggest they share her, or I can give her to one or the other. You're thinking option 2, and I'm worried that this might be like the whole cutting the baby in half because there's two alleged mothers situation. But let's see. Her slave girl sees her own demise in drunken, lecherous eyes on the old men. Seizing a guard's sword, she stabs and escapes a gladiator through the front door. Well, that wasn't someone I cared about, so that's fine. Cool. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have just given it to one or the other. But as I usually say, I'm never one to follow my instincts in anything other than just a base impulse of I want someone to get murdered, typically. Anyway, we might actually be able to afford both of these guys at the same time. Yeah, he's surprisingly cheap. If you expand the employee area, it costs a bit, but that should be worthwhile. Do we have a reduced training time on any of these guys? No, but we should have taken the training coin from him. I'll do that now before I forget, because I could have saved a lot of money just there. And here we can sell that. We'll potentially just sell that as well. And here we're able to go for mentorship, and something we should do is give poison bleed now to you, Miniatch, seeing as you're actually doing half decently for yourself. We even have a bigger fight here. Do you want Twitch chat versus Twitch chat? Because I could arrange for that. Although it's not going to be just a May on one side and Miniatch on the other. We're going to have Miniatch with a few others if we do this. Now, what I'd think of doing is potentially this. What do you think? He's massively outnumbered, and because he's got high evasiveness and turtle, chances are he's going to just block constantly. Let's see. I do think you've got a decent chance. I'm saying that to Miniatch more so than you and me. I wouldn't cheer for my champion, I'm always cheering for the underdogs. Oh, it's potentially going to go either way at this point. And May's on half health. And May's been beaten. Look at that. That was a very close fight. That could have gone either way. Got plenty of training in for everyone too. which is what I care for more than the actual outcome of the fights. Yeah, they hit you for a fair bit. All the gladiators I've got are relatively competent. It's hard to believe at times, but they are. Now, no one's really got impediments, so I don't think I need to rush to get the next Emiratus, which would be... Actually, does he have reduced training time? Reduced delay. Reduced training time goes to him. Delay him. Take coin. What I was going to say was probably something important. I've completely forgotten. Brilliant. I think it was something about the mentorship passing on training to the other gladiators. The mentorship, this one which I'm going into now, after a fight you'll pass on a portion of what you earn training wise to everyone else. Or to random people anyway. It's a shame we can't do more exhibition matches though. But for now we will send Mini-Itch into another fight, even though he's half dead. Don't worry, you'll go against someone fairly simple. This Mill would imagine. Let's see. I'd expect you to win this Mini-Itch. If you don't, I'll be very disappointed. Yeah, you very much won that. I was a bit too one-sided there. Didn't get you a lot of training, sadly. And the Ramil is not doing too well for himself. Alright, I'll see you in a short while then, anyway. Quick, now's our chance. I'll put him to death while he's gone. He'll never know. I'm not going to put him to death, I am sorry. It would be hilarious to have him come back and this guy's just dead without having even been in a battle. But yeah, that's maybe not the best idea. Always running low on food. I'm going to need to keep remembering to buy more. Okay. 4 chained lions. Who do we send in here? Now we are covered in lion urine, so we're less likely to get attacked by the lions. This guy's got decent damage on him. We could send a May. He's on half health though. You're coming up close in your stats. You're my second best gladiator, at least from what the game thinks. I think a May should be able to finish this quick enough. Let's see. It's going to be quite a close fight here, we might actually lose him. I shouldn't have been doubtful. Never mind. Oh, and we got serrated poison blade. Can we stack poison blades on him? Yes, we can. Mini-Itch, you're gonna have all the poison blades we can afford. That should be, between the two of them, now dealing a lot of damage per second. Let's see. Now, serrated poison blade applies for longer. Or is that more damage, maybe? Regardless, you're going to be dealing a lot of extra damage to people. After hitting them, you'll in total deal 250% extra damage from your strike. I believe with that you deserve to have some better equipment. Let's get you somewhat equipped. That'll do. Be some better skirt stuff as well. There we go. That's you properly kitted out now. I hope you don't let me down and die in the next fight, because honestly that happens much more frequently than I'd like to admit. As for this, yeah, it's going to be a one-sided match, whatever. Let's just try and kill some of the crowd. Let's see. Killed some of the crowd, then one-shot him by slicing his arm off with his spear. That's rather brutal if you ask me. Good training for him though. And this guy doesn't come with anything good, so he gets sold. About to get shield disarming, which means we now get dismemberment, which is always nice to have. To buy more food though, still. Ah, lovely. After a brutal military loss, the legate is missing. He's rumoured to be held captive in a Gaul camp nearby. I can attempt to reason with the leader of the army. Or I could just pay a measly 16 coins as a bribe. Seems the more sensible thing. Or I can just let the legate die. Just be a bit mean. Seems to me at least you're wanting to just pay for his release. Yeah, that should be fine. That's the voting ended. So let's go. Legate is returned to your care. He's badly injured but he will survive. He is grateful for your assistance. Not very though, considering you did just save his life essentially. I'll send some more wine to two of these. Send some wine to him. And sure, some extra wine to him too. I've got enough money to just be sending wine to people. Anyway, let's do another championship. I believe now it should be your turn when you actually do a fight. Now I believe it's this one. Yeah, this guy should be quite simple. You do start chained to him. However, he's got absolutely no defense, so you should tear through him. Let's see. Normally I use a Murmillo or someone with higher damage output for this, so I am hoping it goes well. Yeah, there we go. Normally if a Murmillo or someone with higher damage output, they do murder him in maybe a second. But yeah, at the very least you managed to murder him and got some decent training. This is why it matters so much to get the Master Mimic early on, because you can just train people up so quickly. It really is marvellous. Mentorship 3 now, lovely. Might even want to consider agility overtrain at some point. For now though, I think it's likely an idea to make our way towards critical strike. And we'll want to consider getting it as research from the Doctor. Got dismemberment, let's go for critical strike next. Costs some food to get critical strikes, which isn't great. I'm very low on food. I'm managing to keep it afloat though. Not in any deficits just yet. Now you get more exhibition matches. Now you are my second best gladiator, so let's put you against two people. See how this goes. I am expecting you to win. You could lose though. Let's see. It's definitely more challenging than I had anticipated. However, that's you pretty much taking out one of them. No, one of them is gone as I was saying that. Now you're down to just the Frakes, who has also been taken down. Hopefully from that you get a fair few bits of training. Yeah, 25 in agility and weapon. 15 in strength, hardly anything to lift your nose up at, or turn your nose up at even. Yeah, that was quite a close fight. I had expected that to be a lot more one-sided. Your weapon agility. Oh yeah, we don't need training for them anymore. Let's stop that and give you defense. Unless you want strength, we could give you strength training. We're not quite full, we will get maxed out in another fight or two though. So let's quickly take your cards back. I'll give you hold ground. 2 times production, I believe that would only matter with architect. Who do you want to have agility? Guess Appius? Extra health for myself, which is always good. And weapon train speed. That can go to him. There we go. Weapon and agility. Let's see how they do. They should do perfectly fine. Buy some more food. And we are against Salvinus. Should be a fairly simple match. Both top fighters aren't doing great, but I'll send you in a mate. You should be able to kill him quite quickly. Because Mermill with only the one weapon, so he's not got a good idea of what range he should be attacking at. I would have sent Miniatch if he wasn't hurt, but I'll send you a mate. Let's see how this goes. You're just attacking the ground because you aren't aware where the rope is. Yeah, look at you. You'll get your attacks in easily. Oh, he got a hit in on you. 2 hits in fact. That was surprising. Plenty of money, you didn't get much training though. Not really anyone who's a good match for you anymore. Although, Miniatch is doing quite well for himself. Look at that agility and weapon training coming up. This guy... yeah, they're honestly not worth it. I'll sell them. It's probably more worthwhile just outfitting one of the slaves at this point. Speaking of, let's get a scissor, or a sizer. Haven't had one of them in a while. What my other slaves' stats at? Oh, this guy's doing quite well as well. You can have a second sizer. There we go. Need to keep buying food whenever we can. Jupiter's blessings, we have the roll speed boost. Who do you want to have roll speeds on? Someone with reach, so potentially him. I mean, potentially also you, I mean. But rolling doesn't seem to be a thing that many people really do. After military defeat nearby, several of the legate's officers are on the run from the Gauls. I could offer to hide them. I could lock my doors. Gauls are sure to swoop in looking for them, and you don't want any of them to destroy the villa. Or I can give them stuff and send them on their way. Option 3, Sesame. I believe if I let them in, I will lose everything, even all that money I've got saved up. So option 3 is likely what I'll go for then. The officers are grateful for your assistance, and the escaped Gaul war party sent to find them. The legate is appreciative of your help. Now, I don't think they always die when that happens. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But yeah, there we go. Things went relatively well after that. Still in desperate need of food, so potentially doing another championships an idea. This one I believe is 2 behemoths. Do we want to try and fight 2 behemoths? Don't know. Do want to get Critical Strike 2, however. It's very much something we want. Got a pet fight as well. Oh, against a bot. Lovely. You get to murder bots yet again. In you go, Villette. You can murder them. I'll get agility overtrain soon, don't you worry. Okay, just decapitating that slave, look at that. Plenty of crowd favour as well, because we murdered half of him. I seem to enjoy that. It really is weird how they calculate the money you get, simply because the blood spilt's a factor of it. And since the crowd bleeds, then it can be abused slightly. Got equipment restocking, finally. Next is advanced blades, then cheaper stuff. That's us getting towards the first championship. It is endless mode, so it's not the only championship. However, it'll be a good point for me to go to toilet, because I'm kinda needing to pee. Both of those guys have exhibition matches, but first let's get ourselves the Medicus Emeritus. Who do we have reduced training coin on? Yeah, I'll take the training coin off of the Faber, he doesn't need it. Just training coin on him, we need to get him ready to do physiotherapy. As for this man, the architect, I would say expand the employee area. I'm not sure, expand the employee area. Get even more people. And now we're running low on money again. Which means it's a great time to send our two best into this fight. Let's see. How does a tag team fare? We're about 60 days away from final fight. So this is probably a good judgment of how well you're doing it. And me, you took a fair hit right there. I think it's mostly because you decided you wanted to murder the lions more than anything else. We get plenty of slaves now. All of that. Just training time I'll give to him, I don't think it's going to help now. Better agility training. Vertaris can have that, sure. And I'm pretty sure I'll just sell all of these new people. There's too many of them, but I don't know which ones are actually my people, so I'm going to need to close out and sell them all individually. No, I've not got agility overtrain just yet, I'll be getting that very soon though. Although weapon overtrain seems to be what we need first. Both of you seem to be leaning a bit more towards having weapon. And we will have weapon overtrain available, so we'll probably get weapon overtrain first. Weapon overtrain, then agility overtrain. Assuming we have time to do that before the championship anyway. As for over here, attack shuffle is always a nice one to have. Buy more food and such, need to keep remembering to do that. And we've got exhibition matches ready, so let's get you some more training. I think Miniatch is going to prove to be quite the powerful freaks, because they can get rather strong later on. I think those two. Let's see. Yeah, you can have the best sword you can as soon as we have it unlocked. I believe he's still training to get that to favour. That should be decent weapon training. I don't know. was fairly one-sided. That was half decent. 13 in both. Heal and reward. Heal and reward. There we go. Even have some coin and wine. There you go. Keep everyone happy. Do you want to go straight into another exhibition match with you? I'll be honest, kind of do want to. We need to get as much training as we can. I'll send you against some possibly tougher enemies. Let's send you against these two valettes, as well as him. I do think you're now about on par for me. He simply has better agility, so he will get attacks and better. However, you seem to do fine against groups, which, in me, seems to struggle at, simply because he's very evasive and has high turtle. Yeah, look at you going. You're just tearing everyone apart. Ah, brilliant. That's tons of training in agility, weapon and strength. Ah, we can fight Dio and get all the food we don't have. Well, am I going to stream? Probably an hour and a half more. I'll get halfway to the next championship, I'd imagine. Yeah, I think this middle fight's what I need to do. It's also very easy. The only obstacle is roaming lions. So, considering we've covered ourselves in lion urine, we should be more than safe. Send the two of you in. Together, you stand a great chance of doing this, except the line started in the middle. You might die actually if you're not careful. Okay, you took a big hit there, but you're fine. As a tag team, you seem to be good at murdering lions. That was a lot more dangerous than I thought it would be though. That guy comes with some decent stats. I will sell one of these sleeves, get him in. And we need to heal a bunch of people up, so I'll just cycle through this menu, mashing the click button. Yeah, that should be everyone getting healed. You've got loads of money. What do we even spend it on at this point? I guess better equipment for everyone. Let's get you fully equipped, both of you. As long as you're both wanting to be fully equipped anyway. No, not quite yet. We need to still get advanced blades. Here's the thing, mate. Do you want to have better armour, or do you want to keep looking like this? 'Cause I think this is quite fancy for you to look like. I believe that Red Dragon's mail is the last upgrade in your torso armour. Yep. And you can have the dragon mail. Maybe you can have Emperor's armour. There we go. That's you looking even fancier now. Don't want to spend too much of my money. I want to keep some in reserve, just in case. A wine cask is discovered to have been broken during transport to your villa. Return to the merchant and complain about the broken cask, demanding that you return your coin or replace the wine and cask. He maintains that the cask was fine when it left. It's not his issue. I can ask the magistrate to help out, I can just leave empty-handed, or I could threaten the merchant. What are you both thinking? Personally, I'm thinking option number 2. Seeing as neither of you have voted just yet, I will go for that. It's better not to involve anyone else in these small business affairs. Go back home and take out your aggression on the gladiators. How many Gypto's blessings? No. We should have a pit fight, no exhibition matches. Don't really really need to do the pit fights. Well, we're fighting Claws, but we can't not fight Claws. Let's send one of our weaker guys in. Give us Fretarius. There we go. I'm gonna cheer for Claude though, he's got a lovely name. Come on Claude. You can do it, beat my gladiator. He's not going to do it. Claude has been dismembered. Poor Claude. Plenty of training though for Tara. Oh, that is a good slave. Our gladiator. Let's sell this one. Don't need that. As a Murmillo, we need to give him some half decent weapons. But you know what? I can afford to give him a two-handed weapon. And we've got advanced blades. There we go. I've got a big fancy sword now. I mean, I'm sure you're happy about that. Next we want armour blueprints, imagine. We're getting close to the championship, which will be good. Now, I likely don't want to send everyone in. I'll send in the more competent of my gladiators. Which isn't actually all that many of them, worryingly. Although you now have max agility and attack, at least for the very moment. I'll do an exhibition match with a bunch of my weaker gladiators. Get a bunch of training for all of them. I think a 4 on 4 should be fine. Or 5 on 5, I've got enough for a 5 on 5. Let's see. It's going to be quite a difficult fight for either side. I don't actually know who's got the advantage here. Seems to be fairly even. I will comment on what's going on, because honestly I've got no idea. It seems that both teams have now lost one person. Will there be yet more to follow? Yeah, it seems we have a team who came out victorious. That was a good battle though. Plenty of people surrendered, and that should be good training for everyone involved. Yeah, look at that. We do, however, need to go through healing everyone. Also, I saw someone who was missing some equipment. At least I thought I had. Maybe I was mistaken. Now everyone gets healed up, and we'll go into championship with some hopefully moderately good people. Is this a one-on-one fight? No, it's not. And agility over train we now go for. That's you now able to get better in weapon. Although the chat's become rather quiet. Are either of you still there? And we're not doing this fight. Oh, that's fine, don't worry. I'll see you in a bit, Innie, don't worry. How's your Domina going, Innie? You doing well? Also you... No, it's going bad. Oh dear. That is a shame. You're saying decline the offer. I'd say pay for it. 20 coins, even if he's terrible. It's fine. I haven't played in a long time, so just remembering. fair enough. You're just playing in the normal branch then, or are you trying out the beta stuff? A lot of fun stuff in the beta. Well, it's not entirely polished. Just normal. I mean, losing gladiators early on, that's just what happens. Till you get enough money for the Doctor Emeritus, just there. Typically, it's pretty bad when it comes to getting any training for anyone. Anyway, I should go into endurance training. As for this guy, we got a very nice guy out of that. Let's just upgrade him. He'll be one of the ones going into the final battle. And once the final battle starts, I will likely be going to the toilet because I have been needing for quite a while now. I don't know how much longer I can wait. Alright, see you in a second then, mini Mitch. If Faber needs stuff, I'll give him weapon. Speaking of weapons, we can now give you an even better one. Mini Mitch. Well, championships coming up. I think one last exhibition match where we shove everyone who's a bit weaker in. 5 versus 5. Now one of these guys is far stronger than the rest. It's my early game strategy. Basically try and rush the Doctor Emeritus. That's all there is to it. Also, why are there so many people? There should be one less. I'll take out him. There we go. Like the Doctor Emeritus, once you get him, AI training is dead quick. Just send someone to an exhibition match. And that's it, they've got 100 AI. Pretty much immediately. That seems like the fight's over. That's a lot less balanced than I thought. Apart from that, my early game strategy, well, not part of it, does involve a lot of my gladiators just dying. Like, I do play in the beta, keep in mind though. So typically what I do is I get one of these valettes very early on, because you start with a slave who hasn't had any special training or anything. So I get one of them, make them into a valette, and then send them into a pit fight. Once in the pit fight, they'll accidentally murder half the crowd, which, because it spills a lot of blood, the calculation works out that you end up making a lot of crowd favour money. So I think at the very start of this, I made that fight happen, where I had the valette go into the pit fight. I believe it was 2 valettes against each other. I ended up winning. That didn't matter. I got about 600 money from the crowd, which right at the start is amazing. Yeah, you don't get the valette in the main path, sadly though. I think your best option in the main path again is just do pit fights to get you some good money. It's basically an extra battle, but you just don't know quite what you're fighting against. Another thing you probably want to do in the main path is quickly get away from the Frakes, because the Frakes early on is terrible. Like the Frakes in the start, when they're fighting on your side of the battle arena, they for some reason think they can hit a lot further than they actually can, so they'll just end up swinging into mid-air while getting attacked by the opponent. If there's a battle you're going to lose, you could send an unarmed slave in. If you send an unarmed slave, there's a chance you'll end up making maybe 40 money from crowd money. If you do manage that, then I'd say it works out to be worthwhile. I mean, it's still not the best, but you end up making a profit off the cheap slave you buy, because you can get a slave for maybe 15 coin. I think early game, what you want to either do is have the one gladiator you focus on, send him into every match you can. give him really good equipment and such. That seems to carry you through a lot of early game. Try and avoid that though, because when I end up losing them inevitably, I can't really make a comeback. But that is up to you. Like, my strategy, I'd say, is far from being the best. It does seem to work some of the time at least, though. Maybe not if all of the time. We've got an expanded employee area. What we need to hire is one of these. If you're getting back into it, what you should do before the final battle is get one of these Haruspexes. They're pretty cheap to use, and basically you can just make opponents weaker in various areas. Like in the final match, removing Jupiter's blessings means removing maybe 20-30% of the enemy's damage. Removing fighting proficiency also makes it a bit worse for opponents. They'll be less effective at fighting you. And then just reducing their HP is useful. I'm close to where the game would normally end. In the main path, I won't spoil anything in case you've not gotten to the end before. But there's this big battle at the end. If you win, something happens. If you lose, that's game over. I have played before. Yeah, basically, I've gone through the storyline a few times in the main branch, and the last fight, I can beat the last fight, but the thing after that is not fun. I'm not going to spoil it for you, it'll come as a bit of a surprise, I imagine. Lovely. I love this event, it's one of my favourites. I don't think this is in the main branch, I can't say why. Upon waking up, you're immediately overcome with the urge to see a limp cock drawn on your competitor's front door. You venture to his doorstep, but find the only thing available to draw with is goat dung. This may be the best idea you've ever had. Yeah, I've done this event before. I know what happens going with number 1, but I have to. I can't just go with the actually good option. As you expected, your competitor does not appreciate your art and you're arrested for vandalism. The magistrate eventually frees you from the stockade and allows you to wash your hands of goat dung. When pressed to explain your actions, you proclaim that art is everyone's right and that you demand freedom of expression. The competitor does not press charges, but he and the magistrate both agree that next time you have an artistic inclination, perhaps put paint to canvas and leave them out of it. A lovely event, that is an amazing one. And yeah, we've got just a week now until the next thing. Don't think we want to do any pit fights. Do think exhibition matches are worth doing though. Potentially send you versus a May. I don't think you actually heal up enough, you've not got very high health. I think send this guy. He's the guy I picked up who's relatively skilled. I'll send him against 2 relatively strong but on the weaker side gladiators. Let's see. That event we got through, it is marvellous, isn't it? You couldn't ask for more in a game like this. Yeah, the CX came out on top. Or the scissor with the CX even. The scissor's just too damn powerful in this. And you can max out his weapons for, or not actually max out, but nearly max them out for about 300 gold, and then you'll just tear through people early game. If you do the beta branch, do keep that in mind. I believe that's everyone healing up now. Like, where is that 6 guy? It's probably one of these 2. Probably not him, I think it was him. Yeah. He's 141 and 141 damage. Like, as a base, these weapons have 25 damage each, which early game is great. Again, that's only in the beta branch though. do keep that in mind. And we're not going to do a battle against anyone vaguely competent. We'll look at a pit fight. We might be able to get a quick victory out of this. A quick victory out of this, that'll be fine. Send in both of the let's get some crowd favour going by murdering them. Let's see. Murdered some of the crowd, murdered some more of the crowd, and we'll hopefully murder the enemies soon. It looks like Grillius is suffering, but no, both of them are. Oh dear. I've lost 2 men. I shouldn't have done a pit fight. I knew I shouldn't. Luckily neither of them were all that important. You can just pretend it didn't happen by a new gladiator. Yeah, both come with decent training. I think I'll take Stream Elements simply because it's a bot. I enjoy having the bots. There's the bot appear. Ah, there we are. I should go in the top row. You should go in the top row. Yes, him. Oh, we've actually not got as many good gladiators as I thought we might. That's a bit concerning. Normally I have 5 competent gladiators. Currently, I've got maybe 3 at a stretch. It's going to turn out to be just you and me fighting together in the end, I believe. 2 days till championship. Let's curse opponents. We want Jupiter's blessings. As soon as that finishes, we need to keep an eye on it. You have a great championship, yada yada. A competitor offers to pay for me, maybe there's goodness left in the row. There we go. And curse opponent's fighting proficiency. Now we just wait. Well, they really don't have many people. It's mostly just lions. Don't even have all that great damage. You just tag team them. I feel bad doing this while May's gone, but I honestly feel you could tag team them. Just to be in the safe side, I'll stick in this guy and this guy. I think we might be able to win this. Let's see. If we don't, we lose everyone here and continue regardless. That's how endless move works. Okay, we've lost one of our guys, not either of the important ones here. And May's looking a bit worse for wear, but I believe we have won. We are victorious. Look at that. Plenty of money and such. Yeah, this is where Endless kicks in. We're now going to cycle around, everything's going to be slightly harder. Also got a chariot. We could potentially look into doing some chariot racing then. Sure, yeah, we can do some chariot racing. That sounds fine to me. I need to get rid of one of our guys and buy a horse, so... This guy doesn't seem very good. Yeah, I can sell them. Move chariot there. Can we buy a horse immediately? Yes, we can. The Plate of Carthage. What a lovely horse. And upgrade their bridle. Haruspecs could be cursed at this point, we don't actually need them. Build a Hall of Heroes. Well, we can't get the higher specs back. It's just gone forever. Lovely. Well, I'm going to take my victory at the championships as a good excuse to go to the toilet quickly. I'll be back in a moment. Alright, that's me back. It feels good to no longer be in the toilet. I've been waiting for quite a while for that championship to come around. What do we do next? I think probably what we'd like to do is expand the training areas. Yeah, I mean, if you have to go, you have to go at some point. You can't just hold it in forever, that's bad for your health. As well as just a terrible idea. I think what we do next is... It's an inventory clerk, I'm kind of interested. I want to save up for the new guy only in Endless. Ah yeah, I get you. Although I don't really drink tea much myself, it's mostly just water. I think I'd buy an Educator though. Educator is pretty good. We can improve the just attack speed of everyone by giving anatomy. Also, plus 25% crit chance is lovely. I think we might need to rethink that, because for 12 coin and 20 water, that is amazing. In here then, what we want to do is probably go for strength overtrain next. As for in here, I guess wind spirits, mindfulness, then Rotarius, and that'll be it. Out of curiosity, when you play Domina, do you ever bother getting the mind control? I don't myself. I think mind control's less exciting than just watching them fight each other. You did, but you haven't used it so far. Fair enough. I don't think I've ever actually used it. Maybe it's more interesting than you think. I need to consider doing it at some point. I'd imagine in the earlier matches it's great when your AI isn't good. But like if you have a match where I'll give you an example by putting you into a fight against some half-competent people. Like, look how quickly you move and attack in comparison to what you could do manually. Like, I could never just roll around and such like that. That is madness. Yeah, maybe early game it's fine, later game less so. Although it might be interesting to like have your strongest gladiator mind control them and fight just legions of topless men. That could be entertaining. I don't know if my definition of entertaining is the same as yours, but I hope it is. I do hope so. Maybe let's sell polio. We don't need polio. What we need is a brand new slave. Like this one. Isn't he nice? He's going to be a charioteer. That is his only job in the world. Being a charioteer. I need to show you charioteering if you've not done the beta branch. Because honestly it's not worth doing. It really isn't. But I do enjoy it. Might go for sidearms. Oh, I forgot that's what happened when the Ludus training area gets expanded. I was a bit scared there for a second. And just everything was shuffled around. It's about to have a bridle upgrade. Does it upgrade wheels? Probably upgrade bridle again. Yeah, now things should be more difficult in all of these fights. I'm allowed one gladiator against all of these people, for instance. So I'll just send the best we've got. Even then, he might die. I'd hope not, but he might. No, he's just immediately cut someone's leg off, murdered another, and then murdered another. Yeah, never mind, I shouldn't have underestimated him. I really shouldn't have. It's insane what max agility and weapon training does to man. Speaking of, I've got a fun plan. Yeah, we should be able to get new slaves soon. So I'm just going to type a message in the chat so I can get myself and train me up to some fighting. That sounds entertaining. Maybe in the next batch of slaves will appear. Maybe not. I'm not too fussed either way, to be completely honest. Yeah, I need to wait one more day. I want to buy myself as a slave. Yeah, here we go. Let's get myself trained up, see what I can do. I won't give myself any preferential treatment. I'll start myself off like I start every set, or every scissor, with sexes and such. Local militia is unorganised or disorganised and lacks training. You wish to learn the art of hand-to-hand combat from experienced gladiator or experienced fighters. Okay, I can lend one gladiator to train him. I can just tell him to piss off. I do quite like option number 2. Option number 1 is probably the better one, but option number 2, yeah. Militia is not pleased with your reply. Enlist the help of your competitor, but his ill-trained gladiators are of little use. Unfortunately, they pay him quite handsomely for the opportunity to learn. That coin could have been yours. Yeah, but I got to tell the militia to piss off. That's great. Reduced training time. I'll give that to, I guess, him. Got a bunch of training speeds. Training speed doesn't really matter anymore. Roll speed boost I'll give to myself, I guess. I'm kinda wanting to go for weapon training, see how that goes. I need to put myself into a fight at some point. I don't know how it'll go. I can fight the charioteer though, that'll be fine. I'm even weaker than the horse and the chariot apparently, by how this game judges stats. That's a disappointing, isn't it? At the very least, I can fight a very weak man. Ah, you've returned to me. Hello. We managed to get past the first championships, but sadly you weren't here when that happened. However, I've decided to celebrate to recruit myself as a slave. Now, neither of us two people currently fighting an exhibition match have had any training. But let's see how much AI training you get, because this is just madness, yeah. Over 400 on myself. That's simply because I have the Doctor Emeritus. It really is mad just how much you can get. Should probably go into chance to just bring people back. Sounds good. Heal multi's quite cheap, so I'll get that first. No one's needing healing right now. At least no one important. Just myself. And the charioteer. I won't get you killed, don't worry, it's very hard. I mean, look at your stats. I'll be just a second. Alright, I'm back. What was I doing? I'll upgrade your skirt. If you want. Do you want an upgraded skirt? You don't have upgraded everything yet, you just have skirt and shoulder pieces to go. You said okay, let's get them upgraded. There you are. Oh, I'm assuming that was from a second ago when you said okay when I said I had to be back. Let's downgrade it then. There you go. So do we do a chariot race? It really is not worthwhile. Like in any aspect is it worthwhile. What could be curious though is Twitch chat fights each other. You're both my best gladiators. Curious to see how this goes. I want to say it may stands best chance, but honestly, if you get a few hits in, never mind you didn't get a few hits in. Well. Yeah, the reach really does make a difference. I really should not underestimate the reach of weapons. Let's train that, upgrade the wheels again. Did you even get much training out of that? I didn't pay attention. I mean, you seem to be doing well. At the very least for now, I'll gather some extra stones. Educator. Guess philosophy. People fight slightly better. Now we get into strength overtraining. We're pretty much at the end of everything I'm able to do, which is why I was always hesitant of going into endless mode. Seeing as this is my first time in endless mode. What happened was you just viciously murdered him. You didn't even let him have a decent fight. We've got a circuit race. Look at this. Let's send the gladiators in. Can have a proper chariot race without actually needing to waste time on it. Perfect. We're against the Murder Squad car, the Flaming Potato, and Scimitar. Think we might be able to win. We have Batliff as chariot, it's not the most exciting name. We do have a plate of Carthage drawn it. Let's see. Charioteer using his whip of course to get his speed up. Just managing to handle corners. It's a bit too fast potentially. But it seems to be going fine. And now we just sit and wait for it to inevitably lose because the charioteer is murdered by someone else. Apparently we're doing fine. And honestly, I'm amazed this chariot race is going okay. And we have just lapped 2 of them. Oh, we're coming up to Mermill. This could be dangerous. He's got a good reach, he might be able to just murder me. And if we get stuck behind him, like we just did, managed to actually get past. Brilliant. We're stuck behind him for much longer, that would have been quite worrying. However, we are about to finish the last lap. Look at this. Also a wonderful chariot race. That was barely worthwhile. Look at how little money we got. I should never bother with chariot races. It honestly is terrible. I did get stamina recovery though. Who wants stamina recovery? You can have it to me. You seem to be attacking a lot and defending a lot. Now we just wait. Unless I could do another exhibition match. Sure, another exhibition match. All the way down the list, myself versus the charioteer. Want to try and get myself trained up. Hardly the most important. But I do want to at least see if I can get myself to be ridiculously powerful like the rest of you. Seeing him being beaten by a charioteer though, I'm not the most confident. Yeah, we might need to rely on other people doing the fights to actually train me up. I mean, I've already got 84 and 84 in my weapons, it could certainly be worse. Architect, what do we want to do? I think build more palaces. And the horse has a palace, but we need to be able to get a palace for a chariot too, so it's better at training. Don't know why, but I'm pretty sure it does help with the repair speeds and such. Guess. No, coal pits are going to be useless. Let's build coal pits anyway. His rate has fallen seriously ill, and his family medicus is on vacation in Rome. I could send mine, could do nothing, or I could buy one from the city. What are you thinking? Now, my one is a medicus emeritus, the best it can be. Don't know if that makes a difference. Potentially it will though. Option 1. Alright, let's go for that then. After several days, the magistrate's fever breaks. He is very grateful for the assistance and wisdom of your medicus, and sends you a gift of 24 wine.
Agreed.
How generous. 24 wine. It's just what I needed. didn't think I had enough. Honestly, if you'd killed him it would have been perfectly fine. All killing him would have done is meant less exhibition matches for a short while. Which doesn't really mean much in a grand scheme of things. Let's see how this goes. This should be a relatively balanced match, hopefully. Even my weaker guys are actually getting quite powerful at this point. So let's see. Ooh, this might actually be a lot closer than I thought. However, it does seem better equipped and trained people came out on top. Look at all that crowd favour. All that training too. Lovely. Then I just leave my medicus to heal people, because I can't bother paying for it myself. Could do a pit fight. Just send a May into a pit fight, just murder someone. Sure. He might get murdered himself, but chances are very slim. Ooh, 126 damage against him, then 130. Okay, that was a bit much, maybe. Should be careful of pit fights. I do need to remember that pit fights are dangerous because you don't know what you're going against. On the other hand though, May's maxed out both agility and weapon. He's getting closer strength. So we might be able to get ourselves the peak specimen of a gladiator. Let's get coal pit for the chariot as well, I'm sure it needs it. Oh, and we're over capacity. Got our mill in the back, I'll just sell him. What I'd quite like to do by the end of this stream is get this guy, because I actually have no idea what he does. He only appears in endless mode, which is the thing I'm most interested in. Yes, deeper humility into defense overtrain. Yeah, once we're at this stage in any game, be it endless or not, really hard to lose. See, this should be nice simple fights. Let's send in stream elements. How will the bot fare? I'd say rather well, but he's not had the most training. He's just against the Sagittarius though, who he fails to understand how to hit. What's he doing? It's a Sagittarius, he's got a bow in his hand. Why was he backing off? I don't understand the freaks. I also don't understand the Sagittarius. It's just bizarre what happens at times. Keep buying food and such, make sure it stays very high. My exhibition match is ready. Let's have a big free-for-all between some of my weaker gladiators. 4v4 seems fine. Let's see. I'll tell you that, Emmy. This wasn't a fair fight. I thought it would be a more fair fight. I don't really see a point in playing endless mode. I just really hope this employee you can get makes it worth playing endless rather than just normal. Like, this employee down the bottom of the list, 17,000. It's the most expensive thing in the game. Sidious? No, you don't get to go away. You don't even know who you are. How dare you think you're allowed to leave? Although we can now give throwing daggers to the Frakes, which is nice. Also, May, while you're away, look at your stats. You're doing rather well. For now though, let's keep on upgrading the horses and such. Feckless soldiers have stolen a healthy goat from your property. They cooked it for dinner but used none of the remaining parts for anything but waste. Leggett could not be bothered with such trivialities, claiming it is a man's right to hunt for food. According to the legionary who ate it, the animal was running wild. Fair game. You're thinking I should do nothing of me. It seems you're agreeing, Miniatch. So, nothing it is. A wise choice, or a cowardly one perhaps. Guess we will never know. This is just getting daft with endless mode. I've run out of stuff to do. Like, what do I actually get done at this point? I mean, I could just keep fighting until I get to the end, but it's not very fun when there's not much of a threat. The end, of course, being when I lose everyone. Could just say if I lose someone from now on, I don't buy anyone back. That could make it interesting. But I'm going to go do a chariot race because you don't get the option too often. Let's see. Will the charioteer win, or will he die a brutal, horrible death? I'm thinking the latter is a lot more likely. Seeing how he's somewhat refusing to actually whip the horse, and the reins are in fact behind him, poking out the rear of the chariot, I'm somewhat doubtful he'll be able to get first place. Chariot races are severely bugged, in my experiences. Like, the charioteer should be whipping the horse to make it go faster. Just doesn't want to though. I guess he believes in animal rights. So if I'm beaten by this shirtless man, that's going to be depressing. Especially if it's in a fair race, not one where I get murdered by someone else. Well, we're on the 4th lap, soon to be going into 5th. Can we catch up to this shirtless slave in the front? It's the last real corner to decide on, and I don't believe we can. Oh, maybe actually. It's going to be very close. I think we just lost that. That is a shame. At least he used his whip right at the end. Yeah, what do we do from here on? I was wanting to get myself trained up. I don't know if I'm really bothered enough to do that. Plan to do another 40 minutes of stream though, so I shall do another 40 minutes. As long as people are watching anyway, and you're somewhat enjoying it. Let's go for Lazarus. Get some chance to bring people back from the dead. Should be useful. Not got any blessings. And we get to start from scratch with these games. Ah, so the championships get more difficult. This guy has had his stats, I believe, doubled from what they were before. Who wants to do the fights? Will it be you, Mini-Itch, or will it be you and me? Now mate, you will definitely win. Mini-Itch, I believe you will also win without much hassle. I think I'll put you in. You need a bit more in the way of agility training. Let's see. Against the man whose name is too long to actually fit on the screen, will you win? It appears so. You are brutally murdering him. Yeah, there goes his leg. Plenty of crowd favour, which is always nice to see. All that money will eventually lead me to get the new employee at the very end of this list. It's far too expensive to get in a regular game. Educator, I will get him the extra cleanliness, I guess. Make gladiators heal a bit faster. Sacros, I want to replace him. I could buy a bard instead, get morale. People seem to be happy, but not the happiest. You know what? Sure, let's get a bard. Where is he? Here he is. Let's get training speed increased and such. I believe defensive training speed will be good, but first let's go for morale. Morale gives just a general bonus to everything, from what I understand anyway. And another event. Battalion of soldiers are returning from active duty in the front lines. They're camped out on the outskirts of town. Legatus asks if you would entertain some of his officers at your villa. I can invite the officers for a wild debauch, send some wine to their encampment, or just say no. What do you both think? Now, I think just sending wine's probably good. Yeah, it seems you agree. Legatus is pleased that you entertained the weary soldiers. Got a slave here. Where did they come from? No. Let's do another fight. Stream elements can fight a somewhat competent man. Let's see. Will the bots succeed? I'd like to think yes. I paid good money for him, he's got good training. And yes, I was correct, he's just won. Lovely. Not a lot of training, but we did get some crowd favour. Which makes me think maybe crowd favour is what I should be going for here, just get as much money as I can. Let's see. Right, I'd say either side could win. There was one side with a very distinct advantage. Did it get good crowd favour? That's a lot of blood on the ground. got half decent crowd favour. Educator will now go into psychology. People who surrender won't be as sad about it. We're almost able to get ourselves that new employee. Speaking of new employee, we could afford it after this fight if all goes well. That is a very, very worrying fight. I think option number 1 here is likely the best one. Let's send him A. He can get the job done, much like Bob the Builder. I mean, very much not like Bob the Builder in the way he gets it done. You know what I mean. Where about to say from, by the way, like, do you actually know Bob the Builder? Because I might just sound like a madman rambling to you. Now if I am sounding like a madman, I apologise, but I am going to continue sounding like a madman. Reduce training time, extra production, just coin, training time and emeritus. Everyone knows Bob the Builder, good to know. Bob the Builder would make for a strange gladiator, I'd imagine. I guess might as well get last training with the emeritus. There we go. I really hope something exciting happens once I get this last employee, because endless mode is not as exciting as I thought it might be. To be honest, my hopes weren't too high to begin with. Let's build better granary. I would say granary, but it isn't a granary, it's spelled granary. I don't know if it's pronounced the same. I'm mostly doing this simply because people had asked me to do Endless at some point. There was a fair few people who've come along to the Domina streams over the last month or so I've been doing it. There's a lot less to it though than the other game I typically played on Saturday called Noita. You might have heard of it, I wouldn't say chances are high. It's basically a roguelike game where you go down into just various dungeony bits in the earth and you get wands and spells and you just mix them together to make fun combinations. I'm probably going to give that a shot tomorrow. Try and get back into it, 'cause I've been trying to hold off on it until I got to affiliate status on Twitch, because thanks to one of the mods I installed, people are able to use channel points from watching to spawn enemies on me and stuff like that. Which sounds like it could be a fun way for people to just mess with my run. Anyway, for now though, one of your cousins has stopped by for a visit. He appears to be in some financial trouble, but he has some items to trade. I can buy a large slave as fast as a gladiator. It's unlisted your games to play. I'll give it a shot tomorrow then if you want to drop by. Or if you're busy tomorrow, I'll play it some other time. Let me know. Always happy to talk people through Noit and such. It's a game I have far too much time in. I believe I've got about 140 hours. You're busy tomorrow. Alright, I'll try moving it to Saturday streams then. I'll do it again next week. As long as you're interested anyway, you can pop by. Don't feel you have to. But Domina is really running out of stuff to do. Well, the dev who popped in a few weeks ago, they did say they're trying to get some more stuff added in soon. Okay, as for this event, I'll buy a large slave in the hopes it's a behemoth. It's not a behemoth. Do I want him? No, I don't care. Just immediately sold him for a profit. This is stocks. Probably shouldn't do that in real life, I'll be honest. Buying and selling people is typically frowned upon. Yeah, we should be able to beat the two of them. Let's get a tag team in. One thing that does confuse me in this endless mode is how you're able to add Domina health to your own character. That doesn't make sense to me, because normally you don't actually fight. And yeah, buying and selling people is the point of Domina, you are correct. I'll give you even more serrated poison blade where you're going to have the most damage out there. I'll recover cards quickly. Give you everything except for weapon training speed, which you definitely don't need, you're maxed out in weapon. Equipment steward, that can go to Stream Elements there, sure. Now I guess advanced nets. Even better nets for our Retaruses. Seems weird you need to get a research for it, it's literally just giving him an extra 2 nets. You wouldn't think it requires research. But I guess I will be proved wrong on that matter. Let's keep the bard going, get better training speed for everyone. Should be able to train very quickly soon. And I'll go to one of the gladiator matches, I'll send you in. See how you do against this big two-handed weapon man. Got a lot of damage, but you've got a lot of health and even more damage. So I think you stand a good chance. But let us see. You've got increased AI reaction speed. I don't know quite what that does. Whatever it doesn't seem to make you any better at actually hitting him as it breaks. Okay, now you're above him, you got a good hit in. Yeah, you are still just swinging wildly into the air next to him and attacking from the right. But you've gotten round the better side and he should be dying. There he goes, you've chopped his leg off. It's what every man dreams of. If it's not, I should see a psychiatrist. Here's the thing I was talking about earlier though, the Domina boost. What does that do? Does that mean I have to go fight at some point during Endless Mode? Because that does worry me. Well, I've just realised I have enough money. I can buy this man. I'll try and get an extra 1,000 over that. I'll just have a big mosh pit of a fight with some of my gladiators. Let's see. How's this going to go? I'd imagine the side on the left is an advantage because they were higher up the list. Well, it would appear that that was the case. Well, you've got plenty of money, that's what I wanted. Let's get this new employee. We need to fire someone for him. I might be able to expand the area for more employees, I'll need to wait and see. Well, this guy, you can just get sold, I don't care about you. Probably should have sold a slave, but honestly, it doesn't really matter at this point much. It's a question of keeping my food and such on top of each other. Greenery improved, and we can expand employee area still. Perfect. Oh, it's snowing a fair bit outside the window right now. Lovely. Snow is always fun, so long as you enjoy having cold feet and such whenever you're walking around outside. Let's just send you into another match. You can go murder a giant this time. I'd say I believe in you, but that's pretty much standard at this point. If you didn't murder him, I'd be very disappointed. 1,200 damage in at the end here. All your character needs to do is find the right position to actually attack from. And yeah, now we just need to keep food, because food and water are going down a lot quicker than I'd like. Built a granary to try and help out in that regard. Doesn't seem to be doing a lot, however. Perhaps we should do chariot races for extra food. This should hopefully be a more balanced fight, this one. I don't actually know, but I hope it is. Let's see. Seems to be mostly balanced. No, it wasn't. Only one person, the left-hand team, actually surrendered. Yeah, I've said it before, let's see it again, this is not as exciting as I'd hoped in endless mode. Liget calls at your villa, seeking refuge from the heat as he makes his way back to the city from Rome. He tells stories of political wranglings in the capital as he drifts off to sleep. So when absorbed in your courtyard, drinking and playing games of chance, you notice that the legate's cart is fully laden and unprotected. You're curious what he brings back to the city. Okay, I can just investigate and discover contents. It's none of my business, just let him sleep and such. Or I can just steal it all. I mean, it's tempting to steal it all, but that's a terrible plan, I'd imagine. Yeah, you're just telling me to steal, sure. The guard is discovered and quickly apprehended. Liget begins to question the man, but you swiftly stab him and claim outrage at his dishonourable conduct. Liget suspects that he had something to do with it, because he's not a complete idiot. But since he cannot prove anything, he drops the issue. Yeah, nothing really came from that, that is a shame. What's up with prizes in these fights? These are utterly terrible, aren't they? Imagine doing this massive fight for like a bit of food and water. I think this middle one has probably the best rewards for risk. Although this fight in the end is probably doable. You know what? Seeing as May seems to have left, he's not going to have the glory of the limelight anymore. You will go in solo. Can you take on all of these men in a gauntlet? Taken down one, you've taken down another, and you've taken down a third. Not a single hit. Look at that. That's why you need the Doctor Emeritus. You're never going to get your stats that high otherwise. Like, look at your stats now. 250, 250, 205 in strength. Alright, I'll see you in a bit. That's understandable. Ludus is over capacity. Yeah, well, I'll sell him. It's not anymore. weapon train speed we don't need. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. He's also fully trained, we don't need that. That's a bard, I guess. We would like to get strength training speed, I guess. Seems useful. Oh god, nothing's happening anymore, is it? This isn't exciting or anything. Endless mode's just boring. Gonna have to take a break from this at some point. I think if I leave Domina for a month or two, I might come back to it and enjoy it more, because now I've figured out what you need to do to beat the game in the beta, it's a lot less exciting. How goes your run, by the way? Have you managed to win yet, or? Difficulty? I'm assuming by difficulty you mean in here? Oh no, you mean there. That's a normal difficulty. You can actually make it harder. Can't adjust it yet though. That's a shame. Yeah, I'll need to adjust that sometime. Start a new game in endless for harder difficulty sometime. Yeah, that'll be what happens next time. Another thing which could be interesting is, if I manage to get to affiliate, I can let people buy themselves fancy gladiators. Just with bits. I mean, it is money for me, so that's also nice. But I'm curious to see what actually fancy gladiators are. I might just get some bits for myself when I can, and get my own fancy gladiator. Celebration of Jupiter's immense and potent sex approaches, and you have not yet received an invitation. The fuck? Immense of the celebration of Jupiter's immense and potent sex approaches, and you have not yet received an invitation to the magistrate's prestigious annual party. Not wish to miss the opportunity to network with other business-minded achievers in the community. Having no patience and no imagination, you consider sending a blatant bribe to the magistrate to be included in the festivities. Ah, yeah, the big fight in the pit battles. Typically in the pit fights, I avoid doing big group battles. Simply because the risk's too high, you don't know what any of them are. There's a good chance one of them could be dangerous. Send a courteous note then. That's what we'll go for. Magistrate clarifies, I just assumed you'd be coming. I meant no insult by not inviting you. Party turns out to be a bore, as does the ensuing orgy. On the bright side, you notice several casks of delicious wine that are unattended. Yoink. Don't know any other games that use the word yoink. I would say it's an underused word, but I don't really care for it. Ooh, we've got more big fights. Who do we fight here? I kinda want to get that 93 food right there. That's very tempting. Sure, 93 food. I'll just send you in alone. Where are you? There you are. Your shield was upgraded at some point, I believe. Now it overlooks you. Maybe your shield wasn't upgraded. I'll be honest, I'm not paying as much attention as I could be. However, you are doing a good job of murdering everyone involved. Look at you. I'm so proud of you. We're about to have employee area expanded. Thank God. That means we can actually get this fancy guy in the end. What does he do? Literally nothing. He does literally nothing. What? Come on, I've paid 17,000 for him. He's got to do something. I'm not one to rage quit from games, but I'm really tempted now. Like, I spent the last half an hour building up towards us thinking it would unlock something extra and fun to do. But no, it's absolutely nothing, it's completely worthless, it's not been implemented yet. Well, I guess to get to look at his lovely animation, that was worthwhile. God, yeah, I might just quit here. This is not entertaining me anymore. Let's just have a big fight here. Do you want to go in on your own, see how your character does, in one final bout? I think we should. I would send a May to a different one, but I believe that they have left at this point. Let's see. They're all chained up. I believe one of those attacks in there was a critical. I saw a word appear. Regardless though, you murdered him with very little difficulty. I think the main problem currently with Domina is it's far too easy to just get rolling once you have enough money and such. It's just getting to that point is what's difficult. So if I did start this again, and I upped the difficulty to maybe be a bit harder, you start with less. It's harder to get up to having like the Doctor Emeritus and the Faber Emeritus and all that. Once you get the Doctor Emeritus and you have a decent amount of money coming in, that's you sorted. Once you have like training speed 1 for instance, it more than doubles the training speed. Master Mimic as well gets you tons of training from just doing fights. Like without those, even with all the fights you'd been in, if you had still won, both you and the May would have maybe 150 at best in the guillotine weapon. But yeah, I'm no longer having fun with this. I am going to leave it there. I do hope you've enjoyed it. It's been good having you around. It's always nice having someone to chat to. Especially someone who actually is playing the game along with me. It's always fun to hear about how they're doing. Even if you did just rage quit after a big pit fight. Anyway, I'll see you around. I'll probably do either this or Noit again next Saturday. It really depends what I'm in the mood for. Because I believe I need to give this a break and come back to it at some point. But regardless, I'll see you around. I mean, I do enjoy this. I was having great fun until we got to the actual championship. It's just after the championship it wasn't really doing anything. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or evening or whatever you want to call it. And I'll see you next time hopefully. Bye for now.